Welcome back to the Papa Meat channel. How you doing? How you doing? Coming on Sun Down because today we're talking about horrible working conditions. Oh, God. You know, we all know about the tyrannical nature of these gazillion-dollar companies that treat their workers poorly. Maybe you as a viewer even work for one of these tyrants. Amazon. You heard about the bad stuff they're doing? Piss jugs and such? How about Apple? Oh, and Nestle. Nestle, they make the Nesquik.
Children's bones.
Here's a conspiracy theory. Is Nestle chocolate powder ground up children bones? Can we be sued for this? Is that slander or something? No, guys, I'm serious. This is real. You know, it's common for big businesses to do whatever they want so they can squeeze as much work out of people as they can for as little pay. You know, and listen, I am a businessman through and through. I have this YouTube channel. I have various other things happening out throughout, you know, my career, jobs, whatever. And I hope that my employees are just happy that they are here, that hopefully they feel like they're treated fairly, because I love and respect all my beautiful angels. And yes, they did even send me, there's a suggestion box or something, which feels so played out, but at the studio, I had people make videos and talk about just some of the things that they like, or maybe some of the things that they want to be fixed here, like, Harry and Nick want a massage chair. I'll get to it, guys, but until then, here's one of them now. I hope they're good. I haven't seen them yet, so. Did people send in the videos yet?
Well, they're still sleeping. It is 3 a.m.
I emailed them. Listen, the first couple that we got so far, it's bullshit. Like, I mean, censor that, okay? No, I'm serious.
I will. I'm gonna talk to them too.
Yeah, you need to. That's your job. J-O-B, do you know how to spell?
Yeah. I'm sorry.
Hunter wants to know what you guys think about work. Oh, see, yeah, they like it down there. They love working for Papa Meat. Alright, see you guys.
There comes a point where things delve into a realm of straight-up cruelty, when morals are thrown out the window in favor of maximizing output and profits at any cost. We are tiptoeing very close to this YouTube channel. We gotta watch out. Mostly you, Nick.
What?
This can result in nightmarish business practices, which are often hidden from the public. Occasionally, word will spread, giving us a glimpse into the depraved working conditions of these massive, massive companies. Did you see Alien Romulus?
No.
The beginning of Alien Romulus looked like an Amazon factory.
That's gonna be Mars when Elon conquers it.
When Elon? Emperor God Elon? So today, listen, guys, today I just want to talk about some of the scariest and deadliest working conditions on planet Earth. Roll the intro.
Where there's a whip, there's a way. Where there's a whip, there's a way. Where there's a whip, we don't want to go to war today. But the Lord of the lashes says, nay, nay, nay. We're gonna march all day, all day, all day. Where there's a whip, there's a way.
This idea came to fruition because of an article that me and Nick were fascinated with, which is about OpenAI and Sama working conditions, which are just like, you know, AI technology companies, whatever. But there was a very interesting article that came out. You might have heard of products like ChatGPT, DALL-E, Sora. These are like the leading companies of AI and, you know, computer learning and all that other bullshit that's raking in billions and billions of dollars a month, maybe even gazillions a year. What's after billions?
Quadrillions.
What's after quadrillions?
Pentillions.
When the is gazillion? Is gazillion even real?
Gazillions, mate. That's.
You're telling me right now that gazillion isn't even a real number? Well, ladies and gentlemen, there goes my intelligence. Creating an AI model trained by the media and the internet means that inevitably there's gonna be issues. If we've seen some of the little dicey things that happen online, might not want computers learning from that. I don't want AI learning from that. Okay. Early on, people were finding clever ways to trick ChatGPT into bypassing its own moderation filters in order to spew racist language or even instruct people on how to properly build explosives, right? These people were able to basically trick the code, and all of a sudden now these AI models are saying some dicey stuff and they're telling children how to build literal explosives. And that led to DALL-E even giving disturbing images that it was learning from because people were able to bypass and do all that kind of stuff. Basically, moral of the story, a job was created. Content moderation. OpenAI began outsourcing the job to a company called Sama, a data training company that focuses mainly on AI algorithms. Workers from Kenya were hired as data laborers, which essentially meant parsing through thousands of images and videos to identify objects and help the AI understand how to identify them on its own, right? AKA, they were taking images of dead children, maybe child pornography, all kinds of stuff, and they were making these people sitting in a room and just be like, that's bad, to the computer, so the computer could just be this weird hive mind that's just like... Sama had absurdly high expectations, pressuring employees to identify complex videos and images at breakneck speeds, sometimes being given only a few seconds per labeling task, right? Was that a dead kid? Was that a dead kid? Within a 9-hour shift, they rushed to read and properly label up to 250 passages of text to avoid being punished. What is Sama doing back there? How are they punishing people? I know it is. They're like, all right, I'm fired. No. You're not fired. You go a level deeper. You're like, oh. A little hatch in the floor and throw it up. According to a 60-minute interview with Sama employees, completing the work allotted in their contract in advance never resulted in extra pay. Instead, they received, and this is a perk, they would receive 2 pieces of KFC chicken and a bottle of soda.
They used to say, thank you, they get you a bottle of soda and KFC chicken, 2 pieces, and that is it.
Not bad, dude. Colonel, I could have a couple pieces of chicken from the family bucket.
Hold on, this seems very racist. 2 pieces of chicken?
Listen, you can say it's racist from Sama or anything, but if you know what, I love the Colonel. Granted, I would love just more pay, but if they're giving me cherry Coke and a couple thighs, then why not, dude? It was normal for workers who had children and struggled to find work to live paycheck to paycheck at Sama. That's strange. Wow. It's so crazy to me where it's like, well, first off, I want to know, is there research? How many people are there? Even if it was thousands, you're telling me you can't throw
a 3rd chicken wing?
Yeah, another family bucket. No, I just mean like, you can't get them up fucking $15 an hour. I am the CEO of these channels. You think I'm not trying to line my pockets as well? I get it, all right, but I try to keep my boys happy, all right? Only when my boys are happy does this whole gravy train keep rolling.
That's why we get a bucket of KFC every day.
I'm not giving you a bucket of KFC. I know what I said, but I'm not going to. Your cholesterol is far too high, and that's coming from me. The job itself slowly became more and more bleak as the labeling tasks became downright disturbing. Because the AI models needed to identify and prohibit inappropriate language and images, many Sama employees spent entire work weeks combing through shocking visuals and text descriptions of vulgar content. Like pornography, drone attack, self-unaliving, dismembered bodies, bestiality, child abuse, sexual slavery, and even sexual acts against children. God damn, dude, what the fuck?
If you can think it, they saw it.
Yeah, they can think it. They're just like, we're gonna have you use nothing but Bing search engines and Ask Jeeves. They're just like, oh no. One employee states that he endured repeated visions of some of the more disturbing texts, like a man having the dog in the presence of a young child. Gotta get those AI machines to learn somehow, right, boys? Here's $1.32 an hour. Thanks for that. Yeah, hey, you know what? For you, you're gonna get an extra chicken thigh today at lunch. Don't tell the others. Other employees were tasked with reading erotic online stories. Me too. In one case, a Batman fanfiction. In one case, a Batman fanfiction in which Robin is sexually assaulted by the villains.
Robin! No!
Sorry, Batman, but it looks like this bird's about to be plucked.
No!
I bet the other guy's pissed. That's all? You read about Robin getting his sucked by the Joker? But desperate for their paycheck, they did their job despite the psychological damage. And one employee reveals that they found themselves crying more in their daily lives due to the trauma after seeing these images. Another employee, Naftali Wambalo, admits that he struggles to enjoy sex with his wife after being forced to watch an endless stream of graphic material.
On the job that I was doing, I had sex.
All for people to just be like, to go to ChatGPT and be like, search image, Boogie 2988, but Chinese. It's like, cool. And there's a guy who's just like sitting at home, like, at Sama, strapped in, like, in the Clockwork Orange. All for some 8-year-old to be like, how to get Robux. And after 8 months, in February of 2022, Sama canceled the project with OpenAI. The employees, however, wanted them punished for their actions. Over 200 employees are currently in the process of suing Sama for poor work conditions. This extends to Meta as well, who previously used the same services to improve their content moderation as well. Content moderation? That'd be fucking mind-numbing. I did solar panels, like worked in the solar industry for a bit, like sending techs out to do solar or whatever. I thought that was mind-numbing. I can't even imagine what it's like sitting there having to read fan fiction. Like actually read it too, and if you don't do it, they're like, bye. And you're like totally just reliant. It's but let's hop on over to China, how about we, and talk about Shein. Shein is a Chinese clothing brand that creates fast fashion, which means producing clothes exclusively for online purchase at a rapid pace for incredibly cheap prices. Not only is fast fashion responsible for a lot of the environmental issues like greenhouse gas emissions, if you believe in that garbage, be sure to flash joking, dude, but it is often the culprit of incredibly unsafe work conditions. Companies like Shein subcontract their work to unregulated factories, and it is common that places like this do not follow proper labor laws, aka you get some children in there sewing. You get people pulling all-nighters, operating heavy machinery that could just mangle your body in an instance. They're just like, you've been awake how long? He's like 28 hours. Okay, we're gonna need you to stay a little later today. Got a bunch of yoga pants that we need you to sew up today. Is that okay? I guess. Public Eye, a Swiss company, exposed Shein for its horrible working conditions. After speaking to 13 employees from different factories across China that supplied to Shein, it was clear that they were being worked to the bone to reach their harsh deadlines.
Sounds like just 13 disgruntled employees. There's a lot of people in China.
Yeah, there's billions of people in China and we're gonna nitpick 13 of them. Shein makes the best underwear I have. It'd be a problem if they stopped manufacturing them. In order to allow companies like Shein to produce new lines of clothing at the speeds they require, many workers were pushed to commit to a 75-hour work week or more. And one employee stated, and I quote, "I work every day from 8 in the morning to 10:30 at night, and I take 1 day off each month. Can't afford any more days off because it costs too much." God damn, what would you do during that? I don't know what I would do with myself on my day off.
Spa day.
Yeah, you just go to the spot. It's worth it. It's spa day. The next day, immediately, you're just like back on the 14-hour grind. Many worked an average of 12-hour days, 6 to 7 days a week. Imagine working 12 hours a day and never getting a day off. Imagine that. And don't say that's what your life is now, dude, because it's not true. This is despite Shein insisting their code of conduct that 60 hours was the maximum hours an employee could work. That's all you can work. Go home. No, seriously, go home. I guess he just wants to stay.
Well, you see, they can only work 60 hours on the books.
So yeah,
the rest of it is donated time.
We'll pay under the table. It's like my overtime, I'm getting paid less. I know. If you want to stay here and work, man, it's fine, but it's going to be cut in half. In a documentary called Inside the Shein Machine, Untold, hidden cameras revealed that some employees were working for as long as 18 hours a day, earning a measly 2 cents per item. So you need a lot of pennies to make it out of that hole, dude. Although employees worked around the clock, they received pay lower than the livable wage in China. And on top of this, workers who make mistakes often pay the price with their wallet. I like how it's like, yeah, if you up, they're like, we gotta pay for that. Jesus, dude. According to Public Eye, mothers and fathers were babysitting their children inside the factories. And in some cases, teenagers were seen packaging boxes. Although Shein denies the claim of any sort of child labor occurs in the factory. They're like, that doesn't happen. It's like a baby walking with like a hard hat on. He's actually 46 years old, right?
The Benjamin Button disease.
That's Gulong Button. Dude, do you think, has China ever done a Benjamin Button of their own? It's not called Benjamin Button, but it's called, his name's like Lo Kim Button.
Lee Button.
Lee Button? Dude, Lee Button would rule. Or I guess it would be Button Lee.
Yeah, Button Lee.
And Shein has tried to use their PR team to like make themselves look better, partnering with influencers and such.
I think my biggest takeaway from this trip is to be an independent thinker, get the facts and see it with your own 2 eyes. There's a narrative fed to us in the US, and I'm one that always likes to be open-minded and seek the truth. So I'm grateful for that about myself, and I hope the same for you guys.
But after other videos come out and just to expose them even more, I'm pretty sure all of their influencer partnerships have ended. Shein is a piece of shit. All right, that's just all I gotta say. Also, I just want to say too, just because we're on China and people basically having to work those wages. Have you seen that thing in what is it, like Beijing or something like that, where it's like people will rent out one bedroom apartment, but then they'll make like cages that are their own rooms and they'll stack it on. I forgot. I think they're just called cage apartments or something like that. It's crazy. But then they're like, I can barely afford this, dude. living in China would not be dope.
But I've seen videos where everyone's happy and it's futuristic.
No, dude. Shen Yun told me it's bad, therefore I'm not going. Let's move over to Packer Sanitation Services. Packer Sanitation Services is a company that specializes in cleaning slaughterhouse facilities all across the country. Which, if you haven't been to a slaughterhouse, or if you didn't grow up in the South and Midwest like I got to, let me tell you, slaughterhouses are one of the most vile, disgusting things you'll ever see in your life, and it is one of the worst smells of all time. Also, do you want to just feel perpetually sad? You like that? Get me over to Sheen, actually. I don't want to do this one. In 2022, PSSI was accused of using illegal child labor for its sanitation services. Over 100 teenagers between the ages of 13 to 17 years old worked overnight shifts performing dangerous tasks. And it's against federal laws for minors to work at a meat packing facility, as the hours conflict with average child school schedule. This also breaks the Fair Labor Standards Act, which forbids minors from working in hazardous work environments.
I was gonna say, that's the more important one.
Yeah, hazardous schools. She's like, yeah, but they also go to school at this time, dude. Also, for all these are all these country bumpkins, dude, that are doing this. They're just like, well, I guess I'm gonna go up there and clean the slaughterhouse today. That's a 13-year-old. Well, I guess me and Pa are gonna go up and see if we can't clean out the pig trough there today. Yeah, I'm sure Cletus is going to school. I'm gonna go to school tomorrow. I got a tummy ache today. The job duties involved cleaning various sharp blades used to cut meat, like brisket saws, brisket, and head splitters. Doing so means the use of incredibly hazardous chemicals. The work at PSSI has resulted in many fatalities in the past, and in 2019, that led to the death of Antonia Gutierrez. The man climbed into a chiller tank as he was cleaning it, only to get caught between the moving auger blades and decapitated himself as he screamed for help. He was literally cleaning a saw trap, and he became a saw victim. As the investigation started, PSSI did whatever they could to stop evidence from being discovered. When investigators would interview the children, PSSI managers reportedly surrounded the entire room so they could stare them down as they answer questions in order to pressure them to lie. Now, Cletus, did you climb in and clean any of the blades? I did not clean any of them blades. What about you, Buttonly? Oh. Okay. After interviewing some of the children involved, it was revealed that their shifts sometimes went from 11 p.m. to 7 a.m. up to 7 days a week. I tell you too, some of the Southern boys too, they're just like, I already got a full-time job. I'm playing, down at Randy's there on the corner. I'm planning on getting a truck next Thursday. My daddy says if I stick with it, I might be up to 10 within next summer. You're 7 years old. Yes, sir. The younger children would either miss school or fall asleep during classes. Oh, yeah, I'm sure that's the... Cletus, you want to wake up? We're talking about algebra. I ain't going to be no scientist or rocket scientist. I don't need to know numbers. I gotta think of something funnier. Whatever. The investigation across other PSSI sites revealed that many minors were employed, and eventually they were forced to pay the sum of $15,138 per minor working there, and in the end, they paid $1.5 million in penalties. I bet you anything, they're just like, okay, I'll pay that. Also, Cletus is still working here. I'm not firing him. He's our best cleaner. Or how about, let's get back into technology, dude. I'm tired of all these. Who gives a about these inbred redneck pieces of shit? I'm talking about, I want to go into the tech again. That's where the money is. Foxconn Technology Group is a Taiwanese electronics manufacturer that partners with some of the biggest companies in the world, mostly Apple, to create their products. In 2022 alone, they reached more than 760,000 employees. The phrase iPhone City refers to the central manufacturing hub in Zhengzhou, China, that at one point produced half of the world's iPhones and other Apple products. It stretches 5.6 kilometers, employing 200,000 workers. While the pay is better than other options in the area, the work is grueling. A man that goes by Hunter commented that the job was like, quote, working under a whip, rapidly completing the same task endlessly, day after day, forced to stay utterly silent for the entire duration of their shift. I do like how they're just like, hey man, how's your day? Shut up! Make the iPhone! Amongst the pandemic, Foxconn insisted that those who wanted to work there must move into the dormitory rooms inside of the factory. Ugh. The rooms themselves were 6 square meters and were shared with other employees. The rooms had no windows, so employees had no clue of what time of day it was. Jesus Christ, looks like an army barracks, doesn't it? On the job, his managers did not want him or anyone working to stop even for a mere second. He recalled seeing one employee have his pay rate reduced for simply drinking water for slightly too long.
What?
What does that even mean? Okay, dude, that's excessive. And one employee revealed that they would have to sprint to the bathroom if they wished to use it and return without getting scolded.
That sounds like Amazon.
It does sound like Amazon. If there's piss jugs, then it might just be Amazon. During COVID, workers were told that they shouldn't get tested for the virus so that they could continue working and not be forced to quarantine. Because of this, workers would be squeezed between other feverish workers for 11-hour days. Everybody's getting sick at that job. It was normal to see employees acting erratic from the working conditions, passing out from exhaustion, and attempting to unalive themselves from sheer stress. Some revealed that when a worker made a particularly big mistake, they would make them write a letter of apology that would be read out loud in front of other employees to embarrass them and make an example out of them.
Jesus.
They're making iPhones, dude. These are definitely power trip people that have like been in those roles before. Now they're out. So now they're like, I'm gonna treat everyone like a piece of shit. Foxconn did what they could to stop stories about their poor working conditions from being released to the public, even resulting in dragging a Reuters journalist out of his car and beating him for trying to take photos.
Jesus.
I like, he's just like taking a photo of something else and they're just like, get him! Foxconn's biggest scandal was in 2010, when it was revealed that the workers from Longu were jumping off dorm buildings in droves, unaliving themselves in desperation. And after 18 attempts and 14 confirmed deaths, large nets had to be installed outside the buildings to catch falling bodies, which people now have, the nets have become, I think, a kind of a widespread thing. But imagine that. Your working conditions are so bad that they actually put McDonald's giant play nets out. You know what I mean? Like for the play place when you'd like fall through the thing. Unbelievable. In 2012, workers used this bad PR to force better work conditions, and 150 workers had climbed to the rooftops and threatened management that they would all jump unless their demands were met. And also, there's quite literally an entire Wikipedia page of people who have taken their own life from Foxconn. One entry for Soon Dan Yong states that he, quote, threw himself from an apartment building after losing an iPhone prototype in his possession. And before death, he claimed he was beaten and his residence searched by Foxconn employees.
I'm wondering if that's what started it, because I remember that was big news. I think he was at a bar and he left the phone at the bar.
Yeah, it was like a prototype thing, and he's like, oh, I left the thing there, which, oopsie daisy, whatever it, you know. I guess if it's a prototype, it's a big deal, but at the same time, too, it's like, you know that there was some unruly shit that they did to him, tortured him, did all kinds of shit. Drive somebody to death? Come on. But to close out the video, we're going to talk about the Triangle Shirtwaist Factory. Let's go back in time a little bit, dude. We're talking about too much real stuff now. Let's go back in time to where the world was black and white and things were just a bit more silly. The Triangle Shirtwaist Factory operated in the top of 3 floors of the Ox building in Manhattan. It was essentially a sweatshop that hired teenage immigrant girls, working them for 12 hours a day, 7 days a week for very little pay. The working conditions were very poor. These are some of the things. The building was unsanitary. The air quality was poor and the room was not air conditioned. Bathrooms hardly worked. The stairwells were poorly lit, and the sprinkler system in the building did not work. That's foreshadowing. You like foreshadowing? Considering everything that they were creating was highly flammable, this was as unsafe as it gets. Suddenly, a random spark in the building turned into a fire. Managers tried to clear it quickly with fire hose, only to find out that it was rusted shut, with no sprinklers to weaken the flames. They spread rapidly as they lit the garments ablaze. 600 workers rushed to the elevators to escape, having to exit in groups of 12 before eventually shut down. For the rest of the women stuck on the top floor, they had no choice but to jump down the elevator shafts to their deaths. The stairwells led to doors that were locked, leading to more women burning to death. Firefighters arriving on the scene witnessed girls jumping out of windows, completely out of options as the fire inched closer and closer. Not only did they die, but some landed on top of fire hoses, slowing down the firefighters' ability to fight the fire. Firefighters' nets were laid out to catch the rest of the jumpers, only for multiple women to jump simultaneously, ripping them open and ending their lives. Ultimately, 146 people died in the span of 18 minutes. It was a huge disaster, one that led to worker safety being taken much more seriously, and people pushed heavily for reform, resulting in worker protection laws as well as high standards for factory operations. I'm almost positive that led to like buildings having fire exits and stuff. It's genuinely alarming how companies can force people to, in poor living areas, poor living conditions, to strong arm them into these horrible jobs, making iPhones the worst job. Out of all the, well, let me ask you this. All these jobs are horrible. Just want to say that. Horrible things that happen. Out of all those jobs, what were the ones that you think, which was the worst job?
With the Sama thing, you are mentally being like tortured, but
yeah.
Then Foxconn is almost the same because it's like you're living in a dorm.
I feel like out of today's list, Foxconn was the one that scared me the most. Listen, all of them horrible, but I'm just saying Foxconn, it felt like it was just the worst of everything. So I just gotta say this. If you find a good job, hold on to it tight. Don't take shit from any employers who try to f with you. And you know, Godspeed with this crazy work adventure. Amazon, I use them almost every day. Apple. I use my iPhone every day. I'm a part of the problem. Take me out. No, literally shoot me in the head. Take me out. Also, all the employees who talked about my working conditions here at the studio, I just want to say they've all been fired, and they've been replaced with 9-year-old Alabama children who are cleaning up the studio as we speak. So, you know, sucks to suck. Public Eye, a Swiss advocacy. Public Eye, a Swiss I can't say that, dude. Public Eye, a Swiss advocacy. I can't say that. Public Eye, a Swiss good people group. Public Eye, a Swiss advocacy. Public Eye, a Swiss
support company.
Public Eye, a Swiss company, exposed Sheen for its horrible working conditions. Welcome back to the Papa Meat channel. How you doing? How you doing? Coming and sitting down because today we're talking about arguably one of the worst things ever made. And this is in the context, you know, people throw around the words worst film of all time, right? It gets thrown around a lot. Of course, there's a lot of terrible films out there. And even the one today, is it technically the worst film of all time? It just might be.
Jesus. Damn. No. Shit. Got him. Damn it. Start fire!
I think it just might be, because there's a lot of things you have to consider when talking about these things. First off, we're talking about War of the Worlds. It's a new Amazon Prime studio movie starring Ice Cube.
Touchdown.
All I know is we sat down, we were watching Rock of Love, we're getting ready to do season 2 video, and I kept seeing people talk about how bad this movie was, and I was like, you know what, while we're sitting here, let's just take a break and let's watch this thing. It's an hour and 20 minutes long. Sure. I can't begin to tell you how horrible this movie is. It's weird. It feels like a YouTube film, back when like Freddie Wong was really big, you know, when people were making like special effects, like short films. It feels like that, except substantially worse. But what's weird as well is that War of the Worlds with Tom Cruise came out in 2006, looks substantially better, which even you could argue the whole thing of like, oh, they had way more money and all that stuff. It's like, sure, but technology has come so far to where I feel like it would offset it a bit. I wanted to make this video. It's unbelievable. And I just wanted to make this video and break it down for you so you don't have to spend time and we can laugh at this together. And this message goes out directly to Ice Cube. How could you possibly need this money to do this thing? I have to know at what point. I mean, this is irreparable damage to Ice Cube's career and him as a person. I don't know how you actually went through with this. Fire your agent immediately.
Oh no.
There's a lot to unpack at the beginning of this film. Starts off, kind of reminded me of that horror film Unfriended, where it starts off and it's like a person logging on to their computer, and the whole film takes place from a desktop. Even in Unfriended, which is also a very terrible movie, you at least have the webcams make sense because they're on Skype talking to each other. Ice Cube logs into his computer. He works for the DHS. When he even logs in, it says his name is William Radford. He's a domestic terror analyst or something like that. Just kind of weird. And that's just, you know, it's just trying to give you information without doing it without him basically being like, I'm a domestic terror analyst. But it still feels as loud and as stupid as that. I mean, even on his desktop, there's like a little program called Guardian, and there's just a picture of his son, David. It's just David_09. It's just one of those things that, like, there's a son. And the big difference between this film and a lot of other films that go into this, which I have to remember from Unfriended, pretty sure in Unfriended, it's just you get the Skype call and it cuts to them and it uses the vignette of the desktop to showcase all these people. Immediately in this movie, like the zooming and moving in around the desktop is not only jarring, but it looks so stupid. It's so, like, I mean, it legitimately feels like something that like a high schooler would make. Amazon Studios made this. Okay? Ice Cube's job is to just scan every camera in the world and look for terrorists. That's what he does for like about a minute. Is him drinking a no-branded coffee cup, basically just highlighting people and spying on them. And you immediately felt like, oh, the government's spying on us, and that you can. It's just very heavy-handed. Like this is what the movie's gonna be about. You don't really know how stupid it's gonna get, but you kind of have a gist of, okay, you know, he's using the government's technology of spying on us to basically find out about this threat, right? And he pulls up in his little like terrorist app or whatever, he pulls up like a group, like people he's watching, and the names on this spreadsheet are so fucking stupid. It's Black Cat, Dark Overlord, Thelma and Louise, Scattered Spider, and the only one with a profile picture, Disruptor. All right. Oh yeah. So he's sitting there. He's doing his job. He's like, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna catch you guys." And then Sandra from NASA calls, and she's like, "Hey, you should watch this." And it's just this huge fucking storm. And then basically, it's just them basically like, something isn't right.
Something is way off.
Yeah. Well, I got bigger fish to fry than watching clouds.
And Ice Cube, they could not have had him for more than a day. This movie is full of ADR, which is basically like you recording your lines after the fact. It's like pickup audio, but I'm almost 99% positive they probably use AI generated voices of these actors in maybe half of it.
Storms the world experienced were from thousands of meteors blasting through the atmosphere.
Stand by, I'm rerouting her sail to our satellite.
They're looking around. Ice Cube's like, something's not right. It's like, yeah, dude, look at the fucking footage. The film also does this. It takes a lot of like B-roll from like actual news broadcasts and stuff, or even like the Palisades fire. Other weird, like there's a lot of footage where you're like, it feels really tasteless that they're using. But then Disruptor, who was on the list, is having a live stream. Ice Cube starts to sit in on it, and he's watching the Disruptor talk about it, and he's like, oh boy, I'm gonna catch you. And he's trying to basically track his location. But while he's tracking this supposed terrorist who's on a watch list, he's also using his cameras to spy on his daughter, and he's like calls her at the cafe because she bought a muffin, and he's like, come on, you know muffins are bad for you.
Really? A muffin?
She's like, Dad, come on, you could have had an egg.
Dad, how many times have we been
One
through
hard
this?
boiled egg.
And it's the worst fake pregnant belly. His daughter Faith has the single, I mean, it's horrible. It looks so low. It looked like she had flat abs, and then they just put like a bump like basically near her like upper pussy area where it's like, is it supposed to be that low? I feel like it's not supposed to be that low. Then we get introduced to his son because his son spends $250 on Steam, and he hacks his son's computer and deletes the game, and that's when his son calls him.
Yo, did you delete my game?
You know you're wasting your time with that game.
This is where you find out immediately that they have no sets, and they paid these actors to sit, and maybe the one like Ice Cube and the other guys who have been in movies, they're not moving out of their seated positions, but they're gonna have actors like walk around. It's just all gonna be from webcams, and my God, it's so lazy. That's the thing too, is like it might not be the worst movie, but I would easily consider it one of the laziest movies I've ever seen. Anyways, he deletes his game, and Ice Cube tells his son Dave that he needs to get a real job. And his son gives him some weird shit where he's like, gaming is my job, Dad. And he's like, come on, boy.
Dad, playing video games is my job.
And he like hangs up the phone. Also, he's tracking this terrorist the whole time while he's having these interactions with his children. This is the most irresponsible way to spend your time. I can't tell if it's supposed to be like, you know, that cliche at the beginning of found footage movies where it's like, we need to spend the first 20 to 30 minutes of like us joking around, we're pounding around, and this is the camera, this is how it works, we're setting up all this stuff, hey, we're all wacky, to where then it's like, yeah, later when they die, you're gonna feel real sad. It felt like a little bit of that. Ice Cube is flying a drone. Also, he like there's like basically childish maps of cities, and he just gets to like click on icons and go. It's like it's like an iPad for children where they get to just click on stuff, and he's like, all right, I'm in the drone now. And then he gets a call from his daughter's boyfriend, Mark, who is an Amazon delivery driver.
Amazon.
There's gonna be a lot of Amazon references in this movie. Don't worry. And I really can't emphasize enough that he's like, all right, yeah, I'm gonna hack this person.
You are officially bam. Bam.
That was easy.
And he like goes and looks at his daughter, and you're like, what the fuck? What is this movie? What are we doing? He's like, okay, I gotta make sure that she's okay. It's why? For what reason? I don't know. Yeah, and then she like changes her password, and he just like types in, he's like, I need this password, and the thing just generates the password, and I'm like, I don't think that's how it works. It's one of those things where it's like, you could tell whoever wrote this really had no idea about hacking or technology in that way, and they're just like, he works for the government, they have crazy technology, right? It's just so stupid. And it ends up like getting into her computer and reading text between Faith and her boyfriend Mark, the Amazon guy, and basically they're like, he's probably seeing a drone to watch us, and he's like, damn, I am.
Damn.
Then Mark says something like, one day you're gonna save the world, and then he sends her a link to an article that she's in, and it's like, biologist creates cannibal code to attack 6 cells. Just foreshadowing. You just got foreshadowed. But also it's just like, okay, so his daughter is like this super biologist who's dating an Amazon delivery driver. Yeah, well, which it's not like that's totally impossible, but it's just funny. He's like, you're gonna save the world one day, babe.
God, think about it now. Yeah, that's so cringe.
It's so stupid. It's so dumb. It's so cringe. Ice Cube goes to his dead wife's Facebook page, and the banner is like clearly an AI picture of Ice Cube and his like kids. It's very uncanny Ice Cube image. And he messages her, I miss you. And you notice that he messages her 1 year apart exactly. So it's like today, 1 year ago, 2 year ago, 3 year ago. And there's a voicemail, and the voicemail is just a 4-second clip of an AI woman basically being like, don't forget to pick up the groceries and watch the kids. I love you.
Remember to take out the trash today and be nice to the kids. I love you, baby.
And he's like, damn. Yeah. Which that's what Ice Cube says that a lot in this movie. God damn. Ah, damn.
Oh, shit.
And then to show that time elapses, the clock on the bottom of the screen, there is a crossfade of 20 minutes going by, 10 or 20 minutes going by. You could just do a cut and be like, oh yeah, I got, time has gone by. And then it cuts to like an FBI agent getting out of a car because they found the hacker that he's been tracking on the computer while he's been bickering with his kids. So Ice Cube is like going around there. He's like, here, let me go inside this building and hack the security cameras. And he's clicking around, and they're all like videos of like people inside. One of them's like a baby hitting another baby with a bag of dog food or something.
Oh, yeah, he's like, oh, wrong one.
And he's like, oh damn. And he clicks the next one.
Little punk.
And then when he clicks the disruptors building, it's just a feed that's just the same like hooded like anonymous guy, and it's like, are we led to believe that's the view, like the guy sitting in his apartment like with the hood up? Like it just doesn't make any fucking sense. While the police are raiding that building, Ice Cube gets another video from Sandra from NASA, and it shows lightning in the sky, and she's just like, hey, the weather's actually still really bad. Damn. And then like all the videos they're showing of the weather being bad, like the lightning is over the trees, and it's like really superimposed very poorly in this deal. And like one of them looks like God is like tearing open the sky. And he's like, okay, I'll call you back. What do you mean? But it turns out that the terrorist, the disruptor, used a decoy, and while this is happening, missiles start flying through the sky. You're probably like, this feels like a lot of random vignette. This is exactly how I felt watching it.
I will say the movie does not slow down.
The movie, not only does it not slow down, it's just kind of like it's giving information in a way you're like, oh, what's that? Okay. Oh, what's it? Oh, there it goes. It's that. I can't tell if from the old War of the Worlds of Tom Cruise, which Tom Cruise is kind of like a deadbeat dad who hasn't really been there for kids. He has a very strained relationship with his kids. But through this movie, he kind of like proves to them that he's a good father, and he kind of like steps up and becomes the dad that he's supposed to be. It's a good movie. I like the original War of the Worlds, even though the ending, I think they all just like catch COVID and die.
With the aliens?
Yeah.
I thought you were talking about the kids.
No. But it's done in a way where that motivation is the core around the entire film. Yes, aliens are attacking, but it's really about Tom Cruise trying to be a good dad and save his kids in the midst of this thing. That's what it's about. This movie is like, he has a dead wife. He's trying to like, I guess, protect his kids. He's mostly just spying on them. I didn't really think that he was doing anything beneficial besides being like a nosy dude who hasn't like, I think they legitimately said he hasn't left his job in like a year. Like he's been staying at the office.
When's the last time you left the office?
That's classified.
But then the movie pivots real hard when you find out what these like when the aliens come to Earth, what the aliens want. Ugh, God. So missiles anyway start attacking Earth, and there's a lot of like motion with camera shake. It's really cheap, but God, this CGI. Oh my God. It looks like, a DreamWorks movie from early 2000s or something. The smoke is so like bubbly and cartoony. There's tons of stuff happening, and then when they show stuff in the real world, it's like they're just filming on a street in California somewhere. So all this crazy stuff is happening, but nothing around them is reacting in any way. It looks so bad. A news report was outside and gets annihilated by a missile. That's pretty funny. The editing and the special effects, just the sequences are just, it's so obnoxious, and you just keep cutting back to Ice Cube, who's just in this little vignette, and it's just him being like, no! God damn! No! Even that's too much motion. No!
Yeah, he was not giving it his all.
No! I need to know how much he got paid.
I was looking for the budget. I can't find it.
They're keeping that shit locked up tight. If I was a betting man, all right, with all the talent that they have, because there's like some people that have been in some stuff, I'm guessing 15 million. In terms of movie money, that's not a lot, but still.
I was gonna say 5, like $1 million to Ice Cube.
No, it's got to be 15. I mean, like, I'm doubling it. 30 million is what I legitimately believe, actually. God. So Sandra from NASA is calling her, and she's like running through her office. She's like, "Can you believe this?" And there's like a guy in the background who just like casually walks by. It's like there's so many of those little moments in the movie where it's like, yeah, so they talk to the actor and they're like, yeah, so run down frantically down the stairs, and they're using a commercial space or something. So then the guy is like, I don't give a fuck, and he just like walks by. Looks so stupid. Ice Cube's building gets hit, and he starts to panic and spies on his daughter again. He can't find her, and then he finds out that she's like under her desk at her job, and then like a weak signal thing pops up, but it's just an overlay over the actual video, but you can still see her like perfectly moving around. So it's like, is the signal weak? Ice Cube ends up calling his son, and he's running through the streets. Very, very funny. He's sitting there, he's like, "Run, boy, run!"
Listen to me. Get out of there. Now. No. You gotta get out. Keep running. Go.
And he's running through, and the kid keeps like looking at the camera like, he keeps using these tools to help him, but it's just like the technology is so not believable, in the point to where it's gonna be like in 5 years this is gonna look even dumber. Like, just have him type on something and be like, "Oh yes, you should go here." Don't even show the interface. The interfaces look like old Pac-Man maps. Take a right.
Take a right now.
And so it's like, it freezes on Dave's face, and you think he's dead. This video is sponsored by Cook Unity. Summer is winding down, and it's almost time to get back to the grind. But God, it's hot, which means I don't want to be heating up my oven and doing too much hot stove bullshit. Luckily, Cook Unity provides meals that are diet-friendly and designed by award-winning chefs. And Cook Unity include high-quality ingredients and are ready to enjoy in just a few minutes. Plus, with Cook Unity, I don't have to worry about grocery shopping, waiting in lines, or chopping onions, saving me a ton of time and money to get the important stuff done. The best thing about Cook Unity is the variety. Ooh. With hundreds of weekly meals to choose from, I get to try new foods out in a non-stressful environment and also have fresh takes on old favorites. Try new food without less stress. I want to try this, but God. If you need options for vegan, gluten-free, or paleo, Cook Unity has options for that as well. Save time and eat well. Go to the link in the description now to try Cook Unity and get 50% off your first order of chef-made meals delivered fresh to your door. That's 50% off your first order when you click the link in the description or use my code PAPAMEAT to try it out. Thank you so much to Cook Unity for sponsoring this video. And then Sandra goes up to one of the meteors outside. She's like now out of the city. And there's like a giant, she's like, this thing's like 30 feet tall. It's like a meteor. And she's like touching it. I'm like, you work for NASA.
She's like, oh, it's cold.
She's like, wow, it's cold.
It's freezing cold.
Like, don't you think there'd be like radiation or like, would you touch that? While she's touching, she's like, it's cold. This like horrible VHS looking like special effects tentacle comes out of it, and it looks like a PS1 graphic. And they try to add glitches to the camera to like hide it, you know, but it's like, why is the phone glitching? It's just it's little moments like that where in the edit they're like, that looks really bad. throw a VHS glitch over it. But it's an iPhone, just throw the VHS glitch over it. Basically, by this point in the movie, it's insane that you're 20 minutes in and you realize I still have like an hour or an hour and 10 minutes to go.
This was a slog.
It's one of those films where I'm like, is it actually fun to watch? Because I feel like I was just screaming at the TV the whole time. There's the only thing that makes it funny is the line reads by Ice Cube are really funny. When he says like, God damn. Or damn. That's good every time. A lot of the shots don't make sense in the editing because, once again, we're led to believe that's all found footage and we're seeing stuff through people's camera. So whenever the girl who's like the police officer that Ice Cube was talking to earlier, she's like out in the street, she's recording the monster, but then the film cuts to her reaction. She's like, holy shit. And it's like as if she like flipped the camera around to say that and then flips it back, but it's just done in a way where it's a cut and then she just gets eviscerated with a laser. And then, you know, once again, you hear Ice Cube, no, or God damn.
Oh my God.
The aliens start coming out of the ground, but once again, it just doesn't make sense. Also, it's just like static 3D models just tweening upwards like that. One of the aliens comes out of a boat, but yet it's being like there's just rubble, like it came out of like the earth. So it's like coming out of like a boat in the ocean, but it's just like covered in like dirt and shit.
Well, it's like a 3D asset they bought.
Well, yeah, it's like they just had it tween up, and they're just like putting some drop physics on it. It's okay. I mean, it's so lazy. Ice Cube once again has another funny. I cannot emphasize it enough. He hits an infamous, damn. His daughter calls him, and she's getting attacked by the alien, which is funny. She's just outside. So this whole thing's happening. She's outside, and that's when Ice Cube's like, what are you doing outside?
What are you doing outside?
Get away from that thing! Run!
Get away from that! Run!
And she's just like I don't know, 20 feet away from this giant monster. What are you doing by that thing? It's like, what do you mean? It's so stupid. The alien shoots a laser, or it shoots down like a helicopter, and it crashes, and then you fake out that the daughter died again. And then he pulls up her heart rate, which maybe you could maybe say she's wearing like a Fitbit or something, or like an Apple Watch or whatever that can keep track of that shit. And he's like, which I'm not a doctor, Nick. Oh, you need to calm down. Your heart rate's too high.
Your heart rate is way too high. Don't you move, okay?
And it's at like 98.
Yeah.
Isn't cardio like a standard cardio heart rate like 120 to 130 something? I thought a dangerous heart rate's like 180s. Is that wrong? Fact check here. But also, so the thing hit. There was no one else around her, by the way. She like raises the phone up. It's still crystal beautiful. It looked like a beautiful day to film. Just want to say that. She has, I think, like maybe a smudge on her cheek, but that's it. There was a huge explosion right by her, and they're not covered at all. They like we're just kind of like, we don't. There's no makeup. Then she's sitting there and she gets up. She's like, Dad, I'm hurt real bad. I got this in my leg.
How are you? How's the baby?
Oh my God, it hurts so bad.
Okay, stay calm. Stay calm.
It's like this like piece of, I don't know what, like a fucking Duracell battery in her leg or something. Probably the funniest moment of the movie is Ice Cube being like, I'm on my way.
Here I come.
And he gets up and runs over, and he's like, damn, the door's locked. They locked me in.
Damn it. Locked it.
And he's like shaking, like shaking this door. I feel like you could bust down this door, but then he just sits back down. He says, all right, I'm gonna figure something out. And then he hacks into a nearby Tesla. His daughter's able to like hobble in. We've seen these robots shoot lasers and destroy things, but the Tesla just drives off and the thing doesn't shoot it or anything. He just does, man, that was close.
Man, that was close. Hey, listen to me. I got you.
The hospitals are all full, so he takes her somewhere else.
Well, that's what's funny. The hospitals are awful. Don't worry, I'll take you somewhere else.
It's almost like, it's almost like you're going to Texas Roadhouse for dinner. It's like, I don't have it. It's all full up. Let's go somewhere else to eat. This is also a great part too, because she's in the back of the Tesla. There's all these different screens, and she says, there's so much destruction, and they're driving on perfectly clean roads. I don't know why you would use these angles. There's one of like the steering, the dashboard. You see out, and people are driving normally. Like using real footage of just like an LA street, and it looks like a beautiful day. Makes no sense. It's so dumb. I know for a fact the editor or the director was just like, they're never gonna look up there.
Yeah, it's in the corner.
It's in the corner. They're gonna be focused on her. Look, she's bleeding her leg. Could you have not have just focused on the back seat cam? That's it then? And then you can like, you can kind of see out the windows, but whatever. Just get rid of all the other shit and get rid of Ice Cube's goofy ass face and every shot just. Damn. While this is all happening, the world is ending. Pretty much, right? There's an alien attack, and Ice Cube keeps bringing up like family drama at the worst time, to where it's just like they're really trying to force that like dad arc story plot, and it just doesn't make any sense.
You think you have the power to keep the world safe. You gotta wake up. You don't have any power.
Like trying to have an intimate conversation, there's nothing intimate when it's all over a phone, right? You're not in front of somebody interacting with them. So now it all feels just like fabricated and extremely forced. And at every instance, you're just like, why are you talking about this right now? Are you concerned about your daughter dying? And he's just like, I should have been a better dad. The Tesla only has 2 miles left of battery, so then he like hacks a program. He turns everything on low power mode, and it gives her 19 miles, and he literally does. Ice Cube does a Zoom call with the president and he's reading a script. When I say that this is might be the worst line read in film history, I would put my money on it. So much so that I'm going to play a large part of it here.
Mr. President, gentlemen, we're seeing a full attack on our infrastructure, on power grids, water, communication, and top-level military targets.
I can't tell if it's him reading a script that's in front of him and just kind of being like, they're going to be stronger in numbers, so we have to do that, like he doesn't care, or if they're just using an AI script prompter and then they do that.
It's hard to tell.
It's extremely hard. If that's Ice Cube acting, I mean, the president just says like, well, I guess you're right. We have no other choice. I'm saying go to war with the aliens. And then Ice Cube's like, yeah.
I see no other option to initiate this war of the worlds to save us all.
The president, I believe, says it's going to be a war of the worlds, okay? Which is extremely cringe and on the nose, but I couldn't tell. I thought it was a nod to, today we celebrate our Independence Day, from the Independence Day movie in the 90s.
Today, we celebrate our Independence Day.
But then it's like everywhere. The president's calling it War of the Worlds. And it's like, name the movie. The world starts basically like attacking the aliens and killing them really easily. And then you get a great montage of Ice Cube's most embarrassing lines where he's like, yeah, take that.
Got him. Got him. Woo, hell yeah. Take your intergalactic asses back home. Back home.
And then he immediately cuts back. He's like, what the hell do they want? Which felt like an insert because I'm like, they never really asked what the aliens are doing. So it's just like a hard cut of him going, the hell do they want? So we are not even halfway through the movie, okay? And while the world is fighting, Ice Cube checks in on his daughter again and sees, you know, the Tesla's full of blood. It's empty. She's like, oh my God. He goes through and basically Ice Cube has to call her boyfriend Mark. They just record over his lines again because they're just like, no one's gonna care. Everyone's gonna hate this, so let's just record over it.
I'm almost there, Pops. You better be. You call me as soon as you get there, okay? I will.
Sandra from NASA calls and gets blasted with sound waves. She holds her head while filming a selfie of herself. It's pretty funny. She's like, ah! The aliens are just standing by buildings, and then once again you get another good Ice Cube. What the hell are they doing? And they're just standing by like a building. He's like,
what are they doing?
Also, he keeps taking his glasses off and putting them back on. Have you noticed that?
Yeah.
He did that a lot.
He's got to do something. He's at a desk.
He's at a desk the whole movie. So Dave, Ice Cube's son, calls Ice Cube and tells him that Goliath, a secret government program that Ice Cube doesn't know about, who works for the government, is real. But Ice Cube says it's crazy. He's just like, man, that's fake news.
It's called Goliath.
That's fake news.
Think about it.
Sandra, the NASA bitch, once again calls Ice Cube and shows a shot down alien, which by this point in the movie too, you just think about it, I'm like, is Ice Cube the only person in this department actually working? Because she's like, I need to get intel. And I'm like, why is there no one else around helping anybody? So then Sandra goes up. She's like, oh yeah, look, it's weird. I'm gonna go inside.
It looks like it smashed its way into the building. I'm going in.
And then she goes inside and she's attacked by a bunch of bugs.
Oh my God.
Sandra.
They're in my clothes.
Sandra.
And that's when you find out that the world is getting cyber attacked for their data. The aliens came to Earth to eat our data.
The machine's destinations appear to be top secret government data centers.
Whoever wrote this was like, fuck, just like a parallel of companies right now with us. Our data is being constantly stolen and sold to people. Holy shit. The parallels. And then also it's supposed to be like, yeah, the same way that fucking Ice Cube's spying on us and collecting our data. The War of the Worlds people are doing that too. Holy shit, that is gold. I just want to ask, what would an alien do with our social security number?
Well, especially if they're destroying the world. If everyone's gonna be dead, it's like, what's the point?
If you're killing everybody, what does our personal data give you at all? What? I think that it's supposed to be that they can like control like our airplanes.
Well, that's the thing. The airplanes start crashing because the data's being eaten.
Because the data's being eaten. So planes are falling out of the sky, which there is a Boeing nod to that too. So I'm like wondering if they're like, And then someone says the military is sitting ducks without their data.
The military are sitting ducks and being slaughtered without their advanced digital systems.
Faith, Ice Cube's daughter, took out a piece of shrapnel from her leg. First, I was just gonna say she's a superstar biologist that we found out is gonna save the world. And then she says, I thought I could stop the bleeding if I took it out.
I thought that I could stop the bleeding if I took it out.
I am a borderline retarded man, Nick, and I know that if like I got shot with an arrow or got shot, you don't take it out because that is stopping the blood loss. Which then her Amazon boyfriend takes out clear tape and decides to fix it. Ice Cube's like, no!
Mark, no! You gotta get something else, man. You need a tourniquet.
Trust me. I'm a pro. I think it's supposed to be funny that like him packaging boxes is helping that, which that's not the only time that him working at Amazon is like saving the day. We're finding more and more that him conveniently working at Amazon is like actually extremely beneficial to this entire story, which newsflash to Amazon, don't do that when you're producing the fucking movie, dumbasses. So Sandra cuts back, even though the last time we saw her, her like face was getting eaten by bugs or something. But she's like, hey, sorry I did that. I have pets now. And she drops like a little mason jar that has 3 of these little data bugs in it, and they just go over to this SD card and they're like, and that's when Ice Cube's like, why are they going after the chip?
Why are they going after the chip?
And then once again, it's like, oh yeah, they eat data. Oh, damn.
Holy shit.
And we get another montage of the world going to shit.
Tanker ships around the globe are frozen without any GPS data, and oil rigs are combusting.
This is terrible.
And we see a plane crash with really shitty CGI. I bet you they were literally flying out of LAX, and they're like, oh yeah, we need that for the movie. And they just record it with an iPhone. All right, yeah, send this to the VFX guy or something. Send it off. And then that's whenever even the news sources say this. They say the world is in complete chaos without our precious resource, our data.
We are in utter chaos without our most precious resource, our data.
Shit. The data around the world is getting deleted. So Ice Cube goes to his wife's Facebook page and he sees all of his old messages getting deleted. And then he's like listening to the voice message again and it goes, and then gets deleted.
Remember to take out the trash today and be nice to the kids.
Like it's a tape melting. Yeah. I was like, I don't think that works like that, but fuck! And then we get a cryptic message from the hacker. Data is food for the superior intelligent aliens. Disruptor. Who are you, Disruptor? Tell me.
The government knew this would happen, and they activated Goliath anyway.
But then he sits there and he does, wait, why does that sound familiar? He said something earlier to where his son said that line. He's like, wait, what? But it's like a very generic line to where I'm like, I feel like anybody could have said that.
If they locate Goliath and consume its data, the world will return to the Stone Age. The invaders won't stop until they have it all.
Takes the audio and like decrypts it, and then it turns out that Disruptor is his son, Dave.
Won't stop until they have it all. Won't stop until they have it all. Won't stop until they have it all.
Everything honest, and it won't stop until they have it all.
Won't stop until they have it all.
He does, ah!
It's you! It's you!
My own son's hacking the government. It's you? And he does, yeah, Dad.
Well, yes, kind of.
How could you, man?
He says, the past is the past. I'm ready to work together. Are you? He just, I'll call you back.
Look, the past is the past. I'm ready to work together now. Are you?
I gotta go.
and then Dave sends Ice Cube all the files in the Goliath program, and you find out that the Goliath program that he was talking about earlier is like a super secret ultimate surveillance system that the US government made to where they can like predict people's actions. But then the file folders also have like Rothwell files for aliens. They have the Skinwalker Ranch folder for some reason, UAPs, all these files where I'm like, it's just like kind of like, yeah, every conspiracy is because of the Goliath program, Dad.
Goliath. Damn.
And then Ice Cube once again coming in with another solid line. They collecting data. That's what brought them here in the first place.
Collecting data? That's what brought them here in the first place.
He's like, my son was right. They've been lying to me the whole time.
Dave was right. They lied to me the whole time.
Lazy movie! If you see a picture of Briggs, everyone else is blurred out, by the way, because it's a real photo and they had to Photoshop the guy in. So everyone else's photos like blurred out. And he's like, oh, damn it. Briggs is in on it the whole time.
Holy shit. Briggs is behind the whole thing.
Who's like a government guy that's working with him too. And he's like smiling. So you find out Goliath is real, and it's what's caused aliens to come to Earth when it was activated. It's so powerful that it sent out a signal to the aliens, and they were so tantalized by our data that they came to Earth. After the call, he calls Briggs, and he's like, you did it. He's like, haha, yes, it was me.
Y'all know all about Goliath.
Wow, you did it.
Which also his motivation seemed so stupid.
Government's like mommy and daddy. If we can't track our babies, how can we protect them?
Is that what this is about?
Not the humans, though. We're worried about the aliens. He's like, yes, haha, but it was me. And I am going to use it still. I'm evil. And then he denies access to the cube. And the cube is like, I'm locked out. And then his hacker son says, want to play a game? And he does, hell yeah. And his son gives him access again. You weren't the only one keeping an eye out, Dad. And he does, you clever little shit. I love you, boy.
You clever little shit. Love you, boy.
Ice Cube gets an update from Mark because Faith, she was dying before, but he duct taped her leg. And he says, our baby girl's doing fine. And it's just like a picture of him like... And then she's in the background smiling. Dave and Ice Cube come up with a plan to poison the data for the aliens, or poison the food, pretty much.
We gotta poison their food supply, okay?
And Dave says the government are bad hackers, and Dave's gonna go get his hacker pals to come and make a virus for it. The disruptors, they talk to Ice Cube and they're like, I'm not doing it unless he gives us immunity. So the Ice Cube literally highlights all of their names, right clicks and deletes, and says, done. That's as easy. That's it. Your files, no more. We get another time lapse, and Ice Cube created a video to call out Briggs, and he photoshopped his face on the disruptor image. How did he possibly have time to edit this video together? Also, this man is multifaceted. He's leading a government organization, he's an audio engineer, and he's a professional video editor and special, basically motion designer. He's pretty impressive. Ice Cube launches the virus to the aliens, but the aliens are hacking. The aliens hack them back. And then the other hacker's like, oh no, my data's being drained.
They're eating our data. My data's being drained.
They're gonna find Goliath.
It just, once again, you can tell that the people, whoever wrote this, they heard some buzzword in articles or maybe read something, but they have no idea what the fuck is going on. The disruptors get their IPs exposed, and basically they all just get blown up.
Get out of there!
Yeah. Oh, Starfire! And they all get blown up. Oh,
Starfire!
Ice Cube stands up and starts yelling after his son Dave gets vaporized. This is the second time that his son has supposedly died, and he stood up and had to be like, damn!
No! No!
He starts crying, but Dave calls him back, and he's like, oh, come on! And his son's like, damn, that was crazy.
That was freaking intense.
Did you, his reaction was so lackluster.
Well, it's weird because it's like Dave calls him, he picks up, call dropped, and then you're like, wait, what's going on? And then he picks up again, shows his room, and then he comes in, he's like, oh man,
yeah, come on,
my God, man.
And then Dave takes down a green screen, and he's been somewhere else, and then Ice Cube has a funny moment where he's like, they blew up my house, why didn't you route it to Brian's house or something? I don't have alien insurance.
They blew up my house, man. Why couldn't you run that signal through Brian's house so they can blow his shit up? I don't have alien invasion insurance.
Sandra from NASA calls. She has perfect makeup, besides a black smudge on her chin, and she's like, yeah, it's been crazy.
I mean, look, there's even DNA.
DNA? Oh my God.
Ice Cube calls Faith again and asks for the cannibal code that she was working on because Faith would know how to make that. Faith's like, my virus solution will work on these guys, but we need to put the formula on a hard drive.
Doesn't make sense.
Also, just because, what? Yeah, Faith asks, how will we do that? And Ice Cube says, I'll worry about that.
We upload it to Goliath.
How would we get it into Goliath?
I'll worry about that.
They keep showing tons of AI videos and shit. The US government wants to bomb the DHS building that Ice Cube is in. Pretty funny. He's like, oh damn, they're gonna blow me up.
Well, because the Goliath is underneath.
The Goliath, he's like, the Goliath's underneath me, but they're gonna blow up the Goliath building he's in. Ice Cube will inject the code himself, but it's a suicide mission. So he writes an email to his kids and he schedules it. So instead of just sending it now as if they're gonna have time to look at the email, he's like, all right, so I'll schedule it in I don't know, tomorrow. And he sends them a folder of keep them safe photos, and they're just like all like secure. It's like weird screenshots from surveillance videos.
Well, that was the weird thing. It seemed like it was all from that day.
Yeah, where I'm like, what does that mean? Keep them safe? Like, what the fuck are you talking about? The code is ready, but Ice Cube doesn't have a thumb drive, and everyone else comically has a thumb drive except him.
I don't have a thumb drive.
What do you mean you don't have a thumb drive?
So this is the solution. To get the thumb drive of code to destroy the aliens, Mark, the Amazon driver, is going to use a drone, which he dubs the future of delivery.
Prime Air.
Prime Air.
Oh, it's the future of delivery.
He's going to fly it to Ice Cube. The DHS building. That's the plan. And then he said something like, "Yeah, their training programs are really good.
They've been training us for months."
Like it's like it never badmouths Amazon. It's really good, and I'm you know I can make this thing fly like an eagle.
I fly like a bird. I can soar like an eagle with this thing.
Which is just a giant ad for Amazon because he even's like, you have to put in a shipment though.
I need you to place an official order on Amazon to activate the drone.
Nuts.
And they like show somebody selecting something and putting it in the cart, and it's like supposed to be subliminal marketing messaging to be like, oh, I should go on Amazon and buy something later. But I hope that they lost subscriptions off this.
I think people signed up to watch it.
They probably did because it's making some buzz. Ice Cube leaves and makes Sandra be in the command seat. He's just like, I'm gonna go.
Okay, I'm out.
Mark is flying the drone, and we get some shitty POV shots as he's flying. Mark's drone gets swatted by the tentacle of the tripod, and they tell a homeless guy in front of them to flip it. To entice the homeless man, they tell him that the government will give him free internet for a year and that he will get a free $1,000 Amazon gift card.
Wait, give him an Amazon gift card for $1,000.
To which the homeless man agrees and flips it, and Mark is back to flying the drone. The drone makes it to the building, and Ice Cube just keeps being like, I need that drone!
I need that drone!
Yeah, and then he's like, well, which way am I going? With his VR headset. Which way am I going? Hello, Mark, come on, I need that drone!
Where's that drone? Mark, I need it now!
So he gets the drone, he's able to plug it in. He's at the door, and he's like, oh, my key card doesn't work. Which every time he scans it, it's 4 stars. 4, like, boop, 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 boop. Right, 4 stars. Like, there's a 4-digit code. He's like, sweetheart, Faith, rewind the footage.
Hey, Faith, rewind the security footage. Try to find the code.
How do I do that?
And she's like, how do I do that? He's like, edit. Go to edit and time playback.
Go to file and click footage playback. See if you can find someone entering the server room.
And she's like, okay. And she just starts like doing it. And then she says, okay, I got the code.
111983.
I'm like, that's a 6-digit code.
Yeah, you definitely want to see him press 4 buttons.
And he presses 4 buttons and then walks inside to where there's like some shitty CG tentacles on the ground. And he immediately gets grabbed and he's like, ah.
No!
And then Dave's like, come on, Pops, you can do it.
Come on, man, you got this. Get up, Dad, get up.
He's on the ground and he's able to put the flash drive in, and he just says, I love you guys. And the cameras all black out. And then basically the code goes across and it kills all the aliens. And the bombers also pull away from the buildings. The bombers who are about to bomb the building, they're sitting there and it's like, it says 3 seconds left on the clock. Oh, would you know for a fact that they were like, with 1 second left, where they're like, oh, that'd be cheesy. Let's make it 3. And I'm like, if you were that close, that bomb would be dropped. If you are 3 seconds above in a bomber that's going what? How fast?
Hundreds of miles an hour.
500, 700 miles an hour. Ice Cube's dead. The building is blown up, is what I want to say.
Well, it's like, how do they know? Because they don't know what's going on in that building.
Yeah, we see the email that Ice Cube sent show up, but we get like an AI montage of like the world is healing. Briggs, who was like the evil white guy earlier, gets arrested. Sandra gets promoted to NASA leader. Faith is a master biologist. Dave is leading a rebellion, and then Ice Cube survived, and he gets a call from the Secretary of Defense, and the president wants to create a new surveillance program for America that doesn't invade people's privacy. Which is so funny.
He wants you to pioneer a new data collecting protocol that doesn't invade people's personal privacy.
And then he says, and then Ice Cube's like, nah, I'm tired of looking at Amazon orders. From now on, I'm watching you guys. And the guy's like, and he shuts it, and that's the end of the movie.
I'm done watching us. From now on, I'm watching you guys.
But the president...
And then literally there's a globe and it says War of the Worlds. When I tell you that this movie felt 4 hours long. It's kind of like a classic bit where it's like, you can't wait for the next morning. So you look at the clock, it says 2:16, and you can like go down and you're like tossing and turning forever. And you kind of like look back and it's 2:17. Oh, that kind of thing. It was that hell. It's honestly, it's made me appreciate Bret Michaels' Rock of Love. True entertainment that I can't wait to get back to. But it's been a long time since we've done like a movie video, and this one felt, it felt worth it.
We had to talk about it.
We had to talk about it. It's so bad, guys. So terrible. Maybe make a drinking game out of it. Every time Ice Cube says damn, if you do want to die from alcohol poisoning, every time Ice Cube says damn in the movie, take a drink. Good luck. That's all I gotta say. We will see you in the next one, guys. For the love of God, be careful watching this film. Bye-bye.
Hey! I'm okay, I'm okay.
Welcome back to the Papa Meat channel. How you doing? Come on and sit down, because today we're going to be talking about performative males. I'm a performative male, right?
Are you?
I'm performing right now. All in all, would you say, before we even get into it, Nick, do you think you and I are performative males?
Me, yes. You, no. Yes.
You know what? I'm going to leave a little time for our commenters here to write down if they believe us to be performative males. If anything, do a little montage of me acting like a performative male. Case closed. Certified pussy lover. That's why I want a badge, dude.
Gotta be sick.
I'm trying to open up my textbooks, my female literature.
Name one female author.
1 second, because I'm trying to think of a good one. Not that females. I'm trying to think of. There's one that my wife really likes. She's like a poet, kind of thing. She killed herself. She put her head in the gas in an oven.
I know this one.
Cynthia Plath.
Sylvia
Plath. Throughout time, the modern man has always adapted to their surroundings in order to get laid at all costs. Sorry, ladies, that's just the way it goes. Some men will lie about their height. Not me, I'm 6'5".
You're being modest, you're 6'6".
I'm 6'6", and I'm 178 pounds. All right, fuck you, dude. Some men will lie about their height, while others pretend to work financially successful careers. Recently, however, men have started to take a rather interesting approach to grab the female gaze, right? Men have been able to peacock their way into some pussy. And now there's a new way. On TikTok, men have been getting a lot of negative attention online, being labeled as performative males that cosplay as the person that they think women want to date. This trend has exploded, with many men being ridiculed by those ironically mimicking their behaviors online. As the term performative male became more well-known, it also caused more people to look closer at men in their lives to see how many of them put on a facade to attract a potential partner. I'll call Allison. Me and Allison have been together for over 10 years. Let's see what she says.
Hello?
Allison, are you watching Isaiah right now?
Yeah. It's Creepcast.
Listen, we're doing a video on performative males. Since the 10 or so years we've been dating or together, do you think that I was a different person? Did I put on a facade, or am I a performative male?
Absolutely.
You need to
I feel like you falsely advertised, but I came to enjoy who you were as a person, so.
How did he do that?
All right, that actually went in a horrible direction. Wow. Cut all of that, please. My God. Put on your reading glasses and head towards your local coffee shops as we navigate through a sea of performative males. Which, for people also who, I'm sure we've had some B-roll of stuff. From the biggest thing I see about performative males online, it's like the guys, it is me. Like, I unironically believe that if I was more in shape and more attractive, people would label me as a performative male. Because every time I see it, it's guys with like a mustache, a mullet, and they dress like nice. Like I see iDubbbz a lot, Curtis Connor. Those are the guys I see a lot, YouTubers wise.
You're saying you fit the look.
If I was, yes. I think so, right? Let's talk about our feelings.
I don't think you're a performative male though. Like you don't.
How?
I don't know. You don't seem like you perform for anyone except for our YouTube audience.
Yeah, well, I'll do anything for a woman. I don't know. I'm just to really get me. You don't even want to get to know me. It's like a werewolf or something.
I don't want to break your heart, sweetheart.
I don't want to break your heart, and I don't want to hurt you because I can't control my emotions. I'm too damaged. And the thing is I'm such a compassionate person, but I treat others so well because I can't let anyone in. On platforms like TikTok and Instagram Reels, trends pop up nearly every day and usually last only a week or two. Oddly enough, the performative male trend has taken a death grip on the youth and translated into real life encounters. But where did it come from, you may ask? It all started about a month or two ago when both men and women started to point out a new type of man popping up throughout coffee shops on the streets, right? Looks like every kind of guy you'd see in Bushwick, Brooklyn. Kind of. In my opinion. Then they started knowing they're gonna carry on books a lot. Even if it's like a book where I'm like, that's a good book. I'm like, to be walking and reading, come on, dude.
Walking and reading?
Walking and or like on a train. Like, listen, any man who's reading a book on a train, they're doing it because they want somebody to notice them doing it. Just the same way that a woman who might is actually interested in the book, I think does it to deflect people.
Oh, really?
I think people do a lot of things in public spaces to just be like, I don't want you to talk to me. Women, I can only assume, which I will speak for all the women right now, because I have that voice, okay? I'm one with them.
See, I must have been dumb because 10 years ago
I thought you were good. Go ahead.
I would do and think the opposite, because like in the male side I would read books in public, and in my mind I'm like, I hope someone cute notices what I'm reading.
Well, see, that's what I'm saying though. That's the man thing.
But then I also think when I think women, I'll look at their books and be
they
like,
want me to talk to them about it.
I think
I've read that.
I don't know if I'm making this up or if I've seen someone else do this, but I've seen a woman read a book I like, and I was like,
you made that up. You made that up for sure. I've read that. You've never heard that book before in your life. I like to think this is definitely one of those things too. It's like the POV of her book, like, you know, like editor put up a book like this. It's pretty good, isn't it? And like the book lowers and it's just your face like.
What chapter are you on?
I love that book. I love it. That's how they swim. Oh, this? Yeah, it's like my fourth read through. I don't know. I just really like it. It's like that kind of thing. You know what I mean? I'm just so vulnerable. The people who say that shit, run away from those people.
Yeah, poor dad, rich dad. I'm into finance.
Hey, this video is sponsored by Helix Sleep. A well-lived life starts with rest, and nothing feels as good as waking up on a mattress that's made for you. If you want to be productive, you need sleep! And so many of us are getting it wrong from the start, because it all starts with your mattress. So why not give Helix Sleep a mattress? So why not give Helix Sleep mattress a try? Helix has 20 unique mattresses, all suited to serve a specific purpose. If you're too hot at night, or if you sleep on your side, they want to know. And before you get a Helix Sleep mattress, you need to take a sleep quiz to find out a perfect blend of what you need. You're finding your dream mattress. If people with back pain might need different mattresses, and someone who prefers a firm mattress. The quiz is very quick. It takes your answers and recommends the best choice for you. I still love my Dusk Lux mattress. I definitely sleep on it. It serves my particular needs, and I have been getting deep, restful sleep each night. It's amazing how much sleep can affect your mood and energy. I'm getting more work done. All it took was a few minutes to find out what I was missing. If you're not in the market for a new mattress right now, but wish you could improve your old one, Felix offers the perfect solution with their range of mattress toppers. They can extend the life of your old mattress and upgrade your comfort by not having to worry about replacing it. Or maybe you've got a Helix Sleep mattress already. Probably. But you want to improve your guest bed. Grab a mattress topper and tell them that we sent you. Get the sleep you deserve. Head to helixsleep.com/PapaMe to start sleeping in your new mattress today. Take advantage of your Black Friday exclusive partner offer and get 27% off site-wide. Thank you to Helix Sleep for sponsoring the video. Now back to the video.
As the trend began to gain more mainstream popularity, people sought a proper definition and explanation for its growing appeal. One article described them as, quote, a walking mood board of on-trend markers for softness, stylishness, and a feminist leaning that he may or may not actually possess. That kind of bundles it off in a bow. You know what it is too? Any guy who has a fucking thumb ring, don't trust that.
Oh yeah.
Oh, rings. You know, I know people are just like, well, it's just kind of like the Korean style right now. I'm not trying to knock off. I'm just saying it's an archetype. They look at each other and they're like, my God, I'm gonna just copy that. They turn into it. Oh,
if it works, why not?
That's their thinking. If I can get some pussy, then what am I doing wrong? They go on to explain that the reason for its popularity is that if, quote, emerged at a time when masculinity itself and certain male-coded corners of the internet continue to be political lightning rods, right? They're trying to say Andrew Tates of the world. That hyper masculine things where I can't express myself because people are going to call me a pussy. That's the problem, right? And there is a long list of characteristics used to identify one in the wild. If you see a man with a tote bag, reading feminist literature, drinking matcha, and listening to Claro or Laffy through wired Apple headphones, then you found yourself a performative male. Sorry. If you fit that, if you're like, that's not me, I'm like, it's probably you.
This sounds just like someone in LA.
It's on either coast, New York or LA. It's either one of those. But see, that's the breeding ground, right? Because they know how to work it. It's psychological warfare. You gotta watch out. There are slight variations of performative males. Some opt for a latte topped with a colorful cold foam, and others proudly hang their mini Labubus on their tote bags to display their trendiness. Hey, ladies. You have one of these, don't you? Come here. We want to see this one. Come here. Others can be seen playing guitar in public and presenting poorly painted nails. While their looks can vary, they all have one thing in common. A thing performative males hate more than anything on this earth is period cramps. They are known to go into a manic frenzy at the mere thought of a woman suffering once a month. This is true. I mean, it sounds ridiculous, but it's... come on. I feel so bad for you. Put the pain on me. I wish I could feel what you feel.
Do you think that's a little psychological thing? Because it's like also you can't have sex on periods.
That's a good explanation. God, she's gonna not want to do it, dude. I hate that.
But then you flip it and make it like her suffering is the problem, not that I can't get laid.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. I hate that you feel so bad. I was like, the resentment. She's like, why are you balling your fist so hard? I'm not. I just want to punch the pain away. What the fuck are you talking about, dude? But all jokes aside, this trend has been compared to the soft boys and pick-me girls from the early 2020s. And in a few years, there'll probably be a new iteration. It's just what happened. But for now, we're in performative male territory, and my God, it's thriving. While it's true that many people simply like certain aspects of this aesthetic, many go above and beyond for the sole purpose of getting pussy, dude. Need to get laid. One might say it's a way for incels to put on a costume and appear to be as a feminist in the hopes of getting some cooch, which I don't really know if I believe that. I think it was one, like the guys who were big buff guys, those guys, where they're like, yeah, my muscles, I'm gonna get some pussy that way. That's the iteration.
Oh yeah.
They're the quote unquote, like they're the good look, like the guys that do that. They're almost never conventionally bad looking. Because an incel kind of like guy, whatever. Motherfucker can't just put on some rings. You know, but I don't think. At the end of the day, it's like they're still very attractive. But the thing is that they're attractive and they're so sensitive.
Yeah, soft.
Right? I understand, and I hate that you have period cramps. I'm gonna name your period cramps Steven, and you let me know when Steven's around, and I'll beat him up for you. Nom, 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 nom. That kind of thing. That make you want to kill yourself? Because I felt like killing myself. This behavior is nothing new, and it's something that can be found even internationally. Since the trend started, people around the globe have been identifying what performative male looks like in their country. In Japan, which I cannot believe there's a performative male in Japan.
Yeah, that's surprising.
That's surprising to me. I don't know. It's literally, it was either salaryman or they looked like a fucking, like, the outfits were so big and loud. You know what I mean? Also, too, in Japan, the men and women, if they're together, they dress the exact same.
Even friends and friends?
No, I'm saying, like, the relationship, like, whenever you're in a relationship, you dress like each other. That was, like, one thing. I was like, they're fucking, like, same outfit.
They also have friends, do that.
Also, I would know, because I've been to Japan. In Japan, there are multiple variations of performative males. One is called an ishikitakaike, or high consciousness type. These men usually wear large t-shirts and wide pants from specific brands like Uniqlo or GU. Or goo. They always have the newest Apple Watch, and their iPhone screen is always cracked. Rather than sipping on matcha or lattes, they carry 1-liter water bottle and stick to practical black backpacks instead of a tote bag. To complete the look, they have books or iPads to look like they are studying for exams, but refuse to read feminist literature because they believe a good partner can cure their woman's menstrual cycles. I don't know how true that is. I think we just add a little spice on the top of that. But it is interesting where it's the different cultures instead of the tote bag. It's the same thing. We're just lost in translation of it. It just kind of molds but it's insane how identifiable it is. Though you're just like, yep,
there he is.
There he is, right there. You know, like The concept of a performative male goes way back and has had multiple variations that go far beyond physical borders. Some terms apply to their hobbies or professions. In the mid-2010s, the term spornosexual was created to describe young men who had put sports, porn, and sex at the core of their identity to use it to get a partner. How the times have changed. People who use this term believe that Portuguese football star Cristiano Ronaldo is a prime example of spornosexual. You ever see Cristiano Ronaldo's teeth before he got those veneers? Old boy had alligator mouth. Oh yeah. He's the GOAT though. He's the GOAT. A decade prior, the term technosexual was used to describe men who love technology and dress themselves to a very specific aesthetic to impress women around them with their savviness. The term originally described people who literally love technology and wanted to have sex with computers. And that still happens today, so it's kind of cool that's still alive. Or there is lumbersexual, which is a man who purposely buys and wears rugged outdoor gear to appear more outdoorsy in hopes of landing a girlfriend, which that's super popular today still. I would say that's like another form of the performative male. Yeah, as a guy who's just like, yeah, I don't know, I mean, God, I just wish I had a 4Runner. Give me a 4Runner and I can just fucking go to the coast and just, I just want to like be around the woods.
It's like the guys with the perfectly brand new $300 boots.
New $300 boots, the tiny beanie.
Oh, yeah.
We have got to kill the tiny beanie and big beard. Perfect, just everything super clean. Yeah, we were gonna go up there and I don't know, we were probably just gonna like, just go on a hike. It's gonna be a lot of fun. Most who participated in the trend dressed up like lumberjacks, wearing plaid shirts and beards, and were extremely popular from 2014 to 2016 at the height of the hipster era, which that is true, but I will say it's still very prevalent. I'd say I see a lot more of that than even some of the more city-dwelling performative male dudes. Only thing with the lumberjack guys is those motherfuckers they're not reading the literature. I just want to like go out and just fish. Now that people can easily identify performative males, they've been having a much easier time spotting them in the wild. One woman pulled out her phone to film the performative male she had just witnessed. In the video, a male was at a Claro concert, reading by himself as he waited for her to come out and perform. And the comments were divided over whether or not it was an act or to gain female attention or merely to kill time. Which, you know what? Is there a problem going to a Claro show as a single man and popping out a book and just being like, then when she comes on, you're like, you know what? Do you think it's just insecure people who are just like, I don't like that person's being themselves?
Also, it is like one of those things where there's people on their phones doing the same thing. Instead of reading, they're on TikTok or whatever.
I think it was mostly just that he would, for me, it was just him sitting on the ground doing it.
Yeah, that seems, well, I mean, gotta be comfy. Gotta be comfy while you're waiting.
Yeah, but it does just alone by yourself. And then I could just tell that he was just like, I just feel like he was like, I think that to me, I'm like, there's nothing that there's really, it's not egregious.
No.
To me, it's just one of those things when it's so blatant that you're like, you're trying so hard to get some pussy. That's where I think, it's like the same guy that comes up and he's like talking to a girl and he's like drunk and he's like, I seriously think that you're super hot. It's like that. It's like a different version of that. It's just as hostile to me. I don't know why I'm like,
reading the book.
Yeah, it's like a giant beacon of light. And he's like, no, I'm just over here by myself. I just think about the inconvenience of being like, where are you putting are you holding on to the book the whole show?
Well, that's where you got the tote bag.
Oh, that's why I got the tote bag. Some of you may be thinking, is it now a crime to read out in public? What, Hunter, I can't read? The obvious answer is no. Unless you purposely do it to look more interesting at potential partners, right? If you don't have an end game, if you're just reading out in public, what the fuck are you doing, dude? I like stories. Yeah. Sure. Another woman was heading to a local thrift store when she spotted a man in loose-fitting clothing and a tote bag, reading a book next to the outdoor displays. At a certain point, these bitches are just cruel. A fucking big baggy pants clown man can't fucking read a book outside a deal. The person could tell that they were a performative male, not only from their outfit, but because they could hardly stare at the page for longer than 10 seconds before looking around to see if anyone was watching them. See, with this stuff though, it's so hard to tell what's real. And here's the thing, I have seen these people before, and I haven't been recording them or anything, you know what I mean? But it's just these setups are a little too perfect. It's mostly at bars. I see it at bars a lot. That pisses me off more than anything. You're in a loud area, a lot of people talking, and you're just like,
that is definitely,
it's like what movie do you think you're in? You know what I mean?
That's a good, you know, they're hoping a woman's gonna come up and start talking to them.
Yeah, what are you reading? Oh, it's Junie B. Jones. Do you know what Junie B. Jones is?
No.
Oh, it's like a kid's do. All right, do another one. What are you reading? Oh, it's Magic Treehouse.
What's Magic Treehouse?
What are you reading? Oh, it's Captain Underpants.
Oh, I love Captain Underpants.
Yeah, I don't know.
I used to read those when I was like 5.
I got the Hypno Ring too. Just kind of cool. So, one high-level performative male was spotted just outside a cafe. He was seen wearing wired headphones attached to his computer while he was playing guitar on a beach outside. God forbid a white boy gets emotion, as they say. To top it all off, he had a latte sitting next to him while 2 women ignored him so they could enjoy their meal. What is it about matcha and lattes that are so unappealing? I don't like black coffee. You know what I mean? I don't like the taste of bitter black coffee. I like a little fucking sweetness to it. I've never had matcha, but
It tastes
I've
like
had a
grass.
good latte.
You never had matcha?
No.
It's grass. It's like you're a cow just drinking grass slurry.
Why do people? Why is it like healthy
It's
or
like
something?
tea. Yeah, it's healthy.
Is it a thing where people are like, I actually really like the taste of matcha? Is it that? Can you just not? Can you also just be like, yeah, I don't know.
I like grass.
I like grass. I hate when people are like, it tastes really good. It's like, but it doesn't. Since these men like to hang around cafes, baristas are the subject to their uncomfortable presence more often than most, right? A man at a cafe literally caught another man faking aspects of his look to attract the female gaze. The man was described as a Timothy Chalamet and was wearing a red t-shirt with Sylvia Plath. Got it. A famous author known for her work on the female experience on the front in bold letters, right? Which I will say, there's no reason a man should have a Sylvia Plath shirt on. In my opinion. You diving in, is she talking to you specifically? I think you could be a fan and be like, yeah, I have her books or whatever, but to just go out and be like,
because who's making money off that shirt? She's dead.
She fucking put her head in a gas oven. You think she's getting a penny in hell? I doubt it. On his belt, he had 2 Labubus dangling over his shorts, and he was wearing black wired headphones. The wire is very important because it just shows like wireless technology is so accessible now that you really have to go out of your way to get the wired stuff now. And you have to dongles and ports and all kinds of shit now.
Well, most phones don't even have a head.
That's what I mean. You have to get dongles and everything. And just like the analog. When he got to the counter to order, he purposely lowered his voice and ordered a matcha latte. Asked the barista for the most ethical milk they had. Confused by this, they asked if oat milk was okay, and he nonchalantly agreed. As soon as he sat down, the witness noticed that his headphones were not even plugged into his phone. He had the cord wrapped around the base of his phone, and he was actively trying to hide that they were not plugged in. That's a little he say, she said. For the sake of the story and the low timbre, like the voice, it's like this. Like, I can't, can I get a matcha latte with the most ethical milk? Tell you what, man, ain't nothing gonna make a pussy fucking drier than old vocal fry and ask for a matcha latte. I tell you that right now. Not long after he noticed the headphones were plugged in, he saw the performative male reach up to his headphones and pull out an AirPod and put it in the charger case. A little AirPods. So what can a homie not wear some analog headphones as like a necklace? Can it be an accessory, Nick, or do you think it's too performative?
That's way too performative.
It is too performative. That's correct. you just won the answer. Yep. His entire identity, from the clothes he wore to his drink order, was just all a facade. It's pretty obvious that performative males are widely disliked, but you'd be surprised by how many people truly despise them. What really popularized the trend was the emergence of performative male contests nationwide, in cities big and small, which is so good. So good. I'd love to participate in one someday. They're sick. A lot of people show up too. It's very surprising. There might be one in Fairbanks, Alaska. That's where we live. Around August 1st, these contests started popping up, with the earliest example taking place in Seattle. Over 300 different people showed up to perform and watch as men line up behind a microphone to tell the primarily female audience why they are the most performative. They all dressed similarly and brought a variety of feminist literature and lattes to showcase their softer side. After all the contestants had gone through, the women in the crowd voted on which was the most performative. It took 5 rounds of voting before landing on Marcus Jernigan, local musician and singer in an indie band called Good Enough, to win the judges over. He wore a tote bag with a Labubu, a loose thrifted white tee, whitewashed jeans, and carried a portable vinyl player with him. His prize for beating out the competition was a brand new Labubu to add to his collection. God damn, that's it? I would have been like, how about some fucking money? God damn, look at this crowd we're drawing here. You know what? I mean, also, too, you know what it should have been? It should have been like something fucking manly. Or a copy of Black Ops. I don't know. As soon as people saw the footage of the Seattle contest, others began appearing at the college campuses and parks. To try and win, people got creative and went outside the stereotypical outfits that the trend started. Some people brought signs that read, "Resist sexism," while others crammed their pockets full of tampons to hand out to the crowd. Other men played to the crowd's emotions, saying they wouldn't tell them to vote for them because they'd never tell women what to do. Or by shouting, "No uterus, no opinion." Pretty good.
Oh, that's kind of controversial in the trans community. They don't have uteruses. Where's their opinion?
I just want to go on record and say, I didn't say that. That was a quote. And no. And for you to try to turn that on me, I'm going to say, fuck you. Because that's not cool, man.
Sorry.
That's not cool.
Sorry, not sorry.
You don't win the internet today. No more updates for you. All this attention that was brought to the trend make a lot of people angry, especially feminists who believe that this movement was portraying feminism as cringeworthy, which it's not. What? It's not. Feminism is not cringe. Many point out that performative males demonize men who support women and actually discourage men from branching out for their toxic masculinity, which is true. But at the same time, I think that it's a very specific case. Or I don't think that saying that performative males is a bad thing is a bad thing.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. I don't think it's saying, hey, stop talking to women. You're a, what are you, fake feminist? I don't think it's that. I think it's saying, hey, you're trying to, it's like a fucking wolf dressing up in sheep clothing. You'd probably tell that motherfucker to stop, wouldn't you?
Yeah, well, it's all about intentions. Like, if you're actually trying to be a feminist, sure, but if you're just doing it literally to get pussy, then
yeah,
are you a feminist?
Well, it's all up into interpretation.
If you're using it to manipulate people to get laid, I don't think you're a good guy.
What, dude? I'm just trying to get my game. Which, can I finish my Sylvia Plath book or not? I wasn't trying to even do anything with them girls, which if you do, just text me later if you want. Wrote my number on the back of this, so when I was hold it up, you can see it.
Oh, that's a good idea. That way, if they're too shy to approach, they could text you. Threatening.
I'm not gonna kill you. They claim it creates strict guidelines for feminist men to follow, and in turn creates cookie-cutter feminist. On the other side of the aisle, they argue that this whole trend actually shames men for being performative and pushes them to be less toxic. However, this viewpoint did little to nothing, as many still view the jokes about being 6 feet and hating period cramps as insensitive. Femcel groups are also taking this as the perfect opportunity and going a step further, claiming that every single thing a man does is performative, and it's not just feminine men. I think that's true.
That is true.
I think that's damn true. I think the femcells got that one.
We always perform, even for other males.
I perform all the time.
Yeah. You got to in this world.
But that's just because I'm such a entertainer. These YouTube videos, I'm like, this is kind of what I do. And it's not just women that are angry, it's men too. Thousands of male feminists are coming out of nowhere to defend their way of life. A man posted a video fuming because people kept calling him performative, but he allegedly wasn't doing it for show. He was genuinely all the things performative males enjoy. That's just who I am.
You're so performative.
That's actually true. The people who are like, they aren't actually performing and then they're lumped in as a performative male. I feel for those guys.
I think they're just trendsetters.
Yeah, exactly.
I think they still got to change. Another man was angry at whoever coined the term because they had been wearing tote bags and drinking matcha since 2020 and now feel self-conscious about it. Okay, well, now I feel weird. All of the comments were calling this video performative, saying that he literally performed for them on camera trying to prove he is not performative. There's no winning, guys. One argued that the performative male trend is causing anti-intellectualism in young men because it ties pandering to women with reading. If you read, you're a feminist.
Oh, God.
Oh, God. That's not me. I'm not going to read ever again. His argument falls completely flat because in the video arguing against performative males reading, he himself is reading feminist literature in a cafe and filming it to show people. Right now, the trend is dying down as more and more people try to film random strangers in public, hoping to get a viral clip. People are starting to condemn those who pull out their phones to film random men, and especially now that many newer clips have nothing to do with the trend, some people are just using it as an excuse to film people secretly, which is kind of fucked up. At the end of the day, being a feminist goes beyond how you dress and the hobbies you enjoy. If you genuinely love matcha, wearing tote bags, and reading, then I say, Own it and be proud of who you are. Who gives a fuck? Don't let posers ruin your life. No matter what, there will always be men who adjust their appearance to get laid. That's just the fucking way it is, all right? I mean, what the fuck are we supposed to do? What are the boys supposed to do? I gotta fucking change my game plan to get some pussy.
How about you stop even having sex, you pig?
That's probably a good idea. And in a few years, I'm sure there will be another trend that is just a slight variation of this one. It's the way it has always been. All I'm saying is that, you know what? It's all right to all be friends to everybody. You don't need to peacock and be something that you're not. And more importantly, stop drinking matcha. It's just not good. That's all I have. Performative males. What a topic.
Now it's my turn to be a performative male. Let's go to Barnes & Noble.
Get some pussy at Barnes. Welcome back to the Papa Meat channel. How you doing? How you doing? Coming and sitting down because today we all know that everybody loves animals. We've all got them. And we'd be devastated at the idea of anything happening to them, right?
My little fur baby.
This has been the case for thousands of years. In fact, some people care about animals so much that they devote their entire life's effort to protecting them. It's from this mission that organizations like PETA or the People for Ethical Treatment of Animals was born. PETA's focus tends to be on animal testing, factory farming, fur farming, and other types of cruel treatment. Their core principle is the idea that animals do not belong to humans and that they should have their own rights as animals. Animals! You'd think people would be 100% on board with a group that simply wants the world to take better care of animals. But no, PETA has received a massive amount of vitriol from people, animal lovers or not, for their often controversial and chaotic tactics. So today, we're going to talk about all the wild things PETA has done over the years in the pursuit of grabbing the world's attention. We're also going to take a look into their many controversies to decide if they're doing more harm than good to the animal community that they've sworn to protect. So, without further ado, we're talking about PETA.
PETA?
PETA?
Yeah, I like PETA.
PETA, I don't know. I just see them. I think they throw paint on people and stuff. I do think there's some stuff like they say that sheep shearing is wrong. Word? Listen, factory farming's lame. Actually, it's more lame. It's pretty gay. Okay? Factory farming sucks. Mistreatment of animals is bad, but also, sorry folks, animals aren't people. Don't know what I'm supposed to tell you. That being said, if you're a vegetarian or vegan and you think you don't believe in killing and eating animals, more power to you. All right, but it is what it is. That's my opinion. It is what it is.
Can your opinion be wrong?
My opinion can be wrong, but also it's just an opinion. So can it be wrong?
Yes.
If it's a subjective thought.
Opinions can be wrong. And yours are wrong.
Damn, man. All right. PETA was created in 1980, led by animal rights advocates Ingrid Newkirk and Alex Pacheco? And Alex Pacheco. Ingrid pivoted from pursuing a life as a stockbroker to taking care of animals after finding a box of stray kittens and being revolted by the conditions of their nearby shelter. She started dating Alex, a passionate activist, and together they formed PETA. They also formed this. You should come with me. Also, I'm a rich stockbroker. He's like, ding, 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 Coaching! By the following year, they already had their first big victory. Alex went undercover at Silver Springs, Maryland Primate Research Facility, only to take photos of the cruel conditions the monkeys were kept in. They discovered that the monkeys had clusters of nerves severed before being shocked, starved, and restrained for the purpose of neuroplasticity experiments, which is fucked up.
He looks cute.
Tell you what, that photo is haunting. I don't think we can show that photo, but it's a haunting photo. And Alex's photos led to a police raid and a researcher being convicted of animal cruelty charges for the first time in human history. 1981. God damn.
Damn, took that long, huh?
That long. People were like, I don't give a fuck about animals. What followed was a lengthy custody battle over the monkeys that led to massive campaigns from politicians and celebrities urging for them to be safely released. Put them back in the jungle! So they're probably yelling. And then they thought about that for 1 second and they're just like, all right, on to the rest of my life. I'm sure they really gave a fuck what those monkeys did. Story like this put PETA on the map, making the animal rights movement more mainstream, and people liked them. They liked them. They would continue to expose companies for their cruel business practices, from cosmetics to pharmaceuticals to the auto industry using animals in deadly crash tests. They're like, we had no idea what a crash dummy was at the time. It was the ostrich. We put the ostrich in the car to drive it into the wall. at 140 miles an hour.
They would actually test humans before crash test dummies.
How are you supposed to know if it's good or not, Nick? Can you blame the people at Toyota for that? They would also sue these companies, often on behalf of the animals themselves. We're bringing Chim Chim as lawyers. They're like, what? If there was an ostrich test dummy, you better believe that ostrich better be in court. You bring those animals to court, or they don't get in the representation they need. I want a full 7-foot tall ostrich with super long neck, a comedically long neck brace on. Look at him, Your Honor. He's just like, Mah! A perfect example would be the famous monkey selfie copyright dispute that started in 2011 after a monkey from Indonesia named Naruto grabbed a photographer's unattended camera and took several selfies that went absolutely viral! The photographer, David Slater, was angered to find out that the photo was placed in the public domain due to the author of them not being human, which is fucking stupid. I'd be like, he took my camera. The monkey took my camera. If there's not another sign from God that this is supposed to be my payday, what the fuck else is there?
You know what my conspiracy is? I think they just did that to fuck the guy.
Fuck you, dude. Your stupid ass monkey selfie.
Because everyone's like, there's no way this monkey took the selfie.
Oh yeah, people are like, here, look at it.
Yeah.
Chim Chim, look. And he's like, looking down at it. Yeah, he took it and he did it. He took his own selfie.
My conspiracy is that like he's gonna have to admit the monkey didn't take the picture if he wants to win.
It's public domain because it's a monkey picture. God damn it. Which PETA stepped in with a lawsuit on behalf of Naruto, demanding that all proceeds the viral image makes should be used to improve the monkeys community. Gonna build a nice monkey neighborhood. Look, he's like in a car. He has like a hat and everything.
He's got his headband on.
Shadow jutsu or some shit. In the end, the case was dropped and the court believed that PETA cared less about Naruto's legal rights and more about turning attention to their organization. And regardless, David agreed to donate 25% of all future revenue made from the selfie to go to charities that will protect the habitat in Indonesia. Which is nice, but to be fair, he got strong arm because also you don't want to be the guy who's like, oh yeah, you're the dickhead who that selfie monkey guy. But you don't really care about monkeys, do you? He's like, God damn, dude, fine. 25% though.
He should just gave it to Naruto.
He should have given anything. It's a picture of a monkey.
Today's video is sponsored by our partners at Factor. Summertime is here and there is so much to do. No matter what though, you can't skip out on your workouts or your meal prep. It can be tough trying to eat better on a busy schedule, but thankfully, Factor has all that covered for you. Factor has delicious, ready-to-eat meals that are delivered right to your door. And in just 2 minutes, you can heat, eat, and enjoy. Plus, Factor lets you eat the way you want, whether you need calorie smart, keto, protein plus, or even vegan dishes. And if you enjoy the gourmet side of life, you can get fancy ingredients like broccolini, salmon, and truffle butter when you choose Factor's Gourmet Plus meals. With over 35 options to choose from each week, I'm sure you'll find something that you like. Each meal is chef-crafted and dietitian approved, and the best part of Factor is there is no paperwork, no grocery lines, and virtually no cleanup. So head to factor75.com or click the link below and use code 50PAPAMeat to get 50% off plus free shipping on your first Factor box today. That's code 50PAPAMeat at factor75.com to get 50% off plus free shipping on your first box. Thank you so much to Factor for sponsoring this video. Now back to the episode.
PETA would constantly up their ante for their campaigns in order to continue holding on to attention of the public. Because of this, the organization slowly started to become the butt of jokes as their stunts became more and more absurd. For instance, PETA's many video game related stunts. Did you know that PETA did video game stunts, Nick?
Yes, they were after Super Meat Boy.
PETA began focusing their efforts on heinous act of seal clubbing that exists in Canada, which is regulated by the Department of Fisheries and Oceans, which there's nothing fun about seal clubbing.
It's a Canadian pastime.
It is a Canadian pastime, just like baseball is to America, but I do think, dare I say, clubbing a little baby seal is just a little sadder. Would you club a baby seal?
That's where I'm gonna have to agree to disagree.
I could see you clubbing a baby seal, dude. I don't know, his head just looked right for it.
No, I don't want to give fodder to the comments. They're gonna
In 2009, they announced a protest via World of Warcraft in which people would band together to kill 4 members of the Horde that were killing baby seals in the Whisperwind server. Activism. Activist gamers were given detailed instructions on how to join in on the event, which would be taking place at the Howling Fjord. There's no footage of the actual event, so it's unclear whether or not people cared enough to participate. Who cares? Is that a real thing? They actually were like, let's kill people in game. That's them living vicariously. They're like, they wish that they could shoot people in the street.
Oh,
let's
yeah.
take it to the game. The Horde's evil. In another stunt that got much more attention, PETA took shots at Nintendo's upcoming release of Super Mario 3D Land by creating a game called Super Tanuki Skin 2D to criticize the use of the Tanuki suit power-up in the game, because that's what's wrong with the world, is the Tanuki suit from the Mario game. They created their own in which you could play as a skinned raccoon dog. You have to dodge obstacles as you chase after Mario, who is flying above him wearing your blood-soaked fur. Bit more mature rated than I would say the standard Mario game. Has there ever been a rated T game for Mario? Has he always been E?
That's a good question.
I want to see Mario get some pussy, dude. Put him in a T game. He's like, Peach, come here.
And he sniffs his fingers.
Louisa, what do you think I just did, Louisa?
Mario, no.
Mario. Mario. Come on,
It's
Mario.
stinky, Mario.
The scratch and sniff of Louisa. The webpage showcases a brutal video bringing awareness to the cruelty enacted on Tanuki, who are, quote, bludgeoned, hanged, and skinned alive for their fur, which is true, which is sad. But once again, people got to get warm, Nick. All right, good looking fur. What do you think? Would you wear Tanuki fur? It's a Tanuki fur scarf.
I think it'd be disrespectful not to wear it. The animal's dead now.
Kind of dead for no reason if you don't wear it now.
I wouldn't like purchase one, but if someone handed it to me.
Well, I mean, I feel bad if you handed it to me. I'll do whatever you want with it. I'm not gonna buy it. You're just cheap. I wouldn't buy the thing, but if you handed it to me, I'd use it gladly. Surprised at the angry army of Nintendo fans criticizing the stunt, PETA made a statement explaining that it was meant to be tongue-in-cheek. It became big enough that Nintendo even made a statement after being accused of being pro-fur. Nintendo said this. Mario often takes the appearance of certain animals and objects in his games. Different forms that Mario takes make no statement beyond the games themselves. They're like, he's an Italian man in a tube world where he stomps on mushrooms. What are we doing with our time? And PETA did a very similar thing with Cooking Mama by creating a game called Cooking Mama. Mama Kills Animals, which aimed to bring attention to the high number of turkeys being slaughtered every year on Thanksgiving. And in the game, you play as an angry-looking Cooking Mama as you cook a turkey dinner covered in blood and guts. Once completed, Mama has changed her heart and becomes vegan and shows you how to cook tofu turkey. Which, let me tell you, fucking old Mama got done doing a full Thanksgiving dinner. You think that bitch isn't eating the bird? Yeah, right, dude. Also, I'll tell you what, aesthetically, nothing better than just a nice looking turkey.
Do you think Cooking Mama's a trad wife?
Cooking Mama's a trad wife, and she sits on it, spits on it, and twists on it. She's a bop it. In 2012, PETA continued criticizing Nintendo by making a game called Pokemon Black and Blue to make a statement about how Pokemon are treated like circus animals. The monsters in the game Pokemon are treated like circus animals. The digital monsters that are not physically real are treated like circus monsters. I digress. Stuffed in tight spaces and released purely to entertain their master at the risk of their own safety. And in the game, you play as Pikachu escaping the trainer and fighting a variety of comically evil humans, like a cleaver-wielding trainer wearing a coat made off Pokemon pelts. The game ends after you beat Ash Ketchum and inspire him to start an organization that spreads the message of compassion towards Pokemon, which is kind of funny.
Please, Ash, we're people too. Get in the ball.
It's like claustrophobic fucking nightmare. Also, I thought that the Pokeball was huge to them.
I don't know.
When they get sucked inside, I thought that it's supposed to be like big.
It's like Capsule Corp technology, I think.
So yeah, they're probably tiny in there. It's like probably a big aloft.
Pikachu hates his Pokeball, though.
Pikachu's also kind of a little dickhead, if you remember. No, I don't want to. I think I'll just walk around with you. Oh, cool. This fucking rat's gonna walk with me everywhere. Thanks, Pikachu. Fuck off. PETA has done far more than create crude flash games to get people's attention. Also, first off, that's a lot of games. How much money they got to make all these games?
They make them really cheap.
Could you also say, this is the actual question, a human who skins a animal and has done it since the beginning of time because back then you needed it to stay warm and stuff, and now it's become a trade and all that stuff. Is that not just a part of nature as well?
I would argue man is a part of nature. So yes.
Me clearing land and destroying habitats for McDonald's and stuff. That's just a part of nature, PETA. Sorry! Many of their methods are fruitless and silly, like the time they urged the Ben & Jerry's ice cream company to shift to using breast milk instead of cow's milk, which I also want to say this. The Ben & Jerry's dudes, I'm pretty sure they're super progressive. Didn't one of them just get kicked out of like a fucking Senate meeting or something like that?
Yeah.
He was advocating against something? Yep. Put up the clip.
Ben, why are you getting arrested?
Move down the hallway. If you stop, you will be arrested.
Poor kids in Gaza by buying bombs and pays for it by kicking kids off Medicaid in the U.S.
Drag the motherfucker away.
Do you agree with the breast milk?
I would. Oh, buddy. If Ben & Jerry started using breast milk instead of animal milk, oh man. You see me with a milk mustache every day, Nick. A frozen little milk mustache. Little milk icicles coming off that deal. What would be the first breast milk flavor?
Probably vanilla. You want like...
No, you need to spice up a little bit. You know what I'm gonna say? I'm gonna say horchata, first flavor.
Okay.
With breast milk.
So that's an odd... I've never heard of horchata ice cream.
That's what it's a first. Why has there never been a horchata ice cream then, man, because they need breast milk. Unpasteurized breast milk. Also, whoever got milked, what woman got milked, this is a long segment. Whatever woman got milked, I think that her name should be on it. Like, this is Michelle's. The women up in Idaho have good titty milk, dude. Would it be wrong to do a video on testing breast milk? How would we get breast milk?
Oh, you could get it off Craigslist.
You can get breast milk off Craigslist?
Facebook Marketplace.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, PETA, they suck. What? Or like the time PETA created a Super Bowl ad showing how being a vegan will make you last longer in bed, make your dick harder. The ad, which is now banned, was essentially just 30 minutes of uninterrupted seconds of people overreacting having sex. You can try to play a little bit of it.
My ears would have perked up. Huh?
Yeah, that's what I'd say too. I'm like a wolf. My ears perk up. Moves like these ended up being pretty tame compared to some of the other stunts, like when they compared factory farms to concentration camps. PETA created an exhibition known as Holocaust on Your Plate in 2003. Each piece, which was placed all over the world, would showcase a harrowing image from the Holocaust juxtaposed with the conditions animals faced at factory farms. They would have a text on a plate that reads something like, "To animals, all people are Nazis." While PETA worked with Jewish groups for this project, many others were furious that they used the death of 6 million Jews to push their animal rights message. And PETA has the tendency to get pushback for their bold and shocking claims they make. Another similar example was the time they claimed cow milk was the symbol of white supremacy. A blog post was posted to their website in 2017 titled, "Why Cow's Milk is the Perfect Drink for White Supremacists." In it, they discussed the similarities between the dairy industry and white supremacists, namely that they both inflict extreme violence on other living beings. That's right, Nick, I'm a white supremacist.
Clip that.
Hey, Nick, I had a bowl of white supremacist juice. I used white supremacist juice for my Cocoa Pebbles earlier. The post references scenes from Get Out and Inglourious Basterds, where the symbolism is also used. To continue down this strange and offensive path, let's talk about one of PETA's boldest moves to date, dressing up as the KKK to protest a dog show. Get out of here, dogs. Got that. The Westminster Dog Show is an annual event that brings together purebred dogs from all over the world to compete in a variety of events. I will say it's very cute, even though some of them are genetic abominations. Like my dogs, Tugboat and Crawdad. They should not exist. Genetic anomalies.
Did you see the genetic results from Tugboat?
He's the 100% bass hound.
Well, he's also 18% inbred.
You're telling me my beautiful dog Tugboat is the love child of incest? PETA has long since criticized the practice of breeding dogs, as it greatly discourages shelter dogs from being adopted. To push this message harder, 2 members showed up to the event dressed in Ku Klux Klan outfits. They handed out pamphlets showing the similarities to American Kennel Club and the KKK, focusing on their obsession with pure bloodlines. Of course, many people found this incredibly inappropriate, something PETA was well aware of and clearly utilized to force people to pay attention to them. While most of these campaigns seem to be targeted at adults, there are a few that are focused on influencing younger generations. This was certainly the case with PETA's Unhappy Meal stunt. Right, the Unhappy Meal does kind of go hard.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's a cool collector's item.
That is fucking sick. Ronald with a knife, and is it just a knife in both, or is it a gun?
He's got like a chicken in his other hand.
Ronald with a knife goes hard. If they ever made a statue, let me know. I've been collecting McDonald's statues for a while. I need that one, and I will kill an animal for it, and I will drink milk.
Breast milk.
Horchata, Ben & Jerry's. In 2009, PETA wanted to spread the message about the horrible methods McDonald's used to mass slaughter chickens for their products. To raise concern for their harmful practices, they stood outside of McDonald's locations and handed out something they referred to as Unhappy Meals. It was a f***ed-up version of a Happy Meal, completed with a demented, knife-wielding version of Ronald McDonald. It's fucking metal. It's awesome. They were primarily handing them out to children who were horrified after opening the wrapping to find a plastic chicken covered in fake blood. Parents were outraged, and McDonald's made a statement claiming that the cruel conditions that they are referring to are overblown. Not really. They're like, whatever, dude. Like, fucking 6 chickens in one little cage. You know what I mean? That's why also, I thought back then they used a pink slime, and now they use chicken. Remember that? That was the big thing?
I think they still use pink slime.
I don't think so, because people complained that the chicken nuggets back in the day when it was no meat. Because that was the thing, people were like, what kind of animal is this? And they're like, and it's fucking insulation or something like that. It's like horse meat and bleach and bile.
That's what people think their burgers are made out of now.
Well, now it's beef, but they're like, go back to the pink shit.
There's a conspiracy on the beef. They're saying that
Oh, it's horse meat?
Well, no, like it's like, oh,
spit it out, Nick.
McDonald's made a company called 100% beef, and that's why when it says made with 100% beef, they can point be like, we made that company, but it's all made up and people are just spreading bullshit.
Good. Go whatever it was back in the day, go back to that. I don't give, call it 110% real beef for all I give a bring it back, dude. With that said, McDonald's eventually caved in 2017 and stated that they would commit to advancing the welfare of their chickens.
It worked.
Also, it took them, what, 8 years? All right, fine. Pink stuff is too good. People are loving it too much. We'll go back to regular chickens. This wasn't a total victory for PETA, as it appears that the McDonald's supplier had all the way until 2024 to comply with their new standards. And not only that, but it would only apply to 70% of their chicken suppliers. Sorry to that last 30. Yeah, they're like, freedom, better living conditions. And the farmer's just like, not you. And shuts it. Game over. PETA is known to use gruesome imagery and phrases to shock people into listening to what they have to say, but it doesn't stop there. At times, they've even directly harassed their enemies publicly in order to make headlines. The ASPCA, or the American Society for the Prevention of Cruelty to Animals, is surprisingly an enemy of PETA. What? This is mainly due to their endorsements of the Global Animal Partnership Organization, which aims to improve the conditions of animal agriculture. Why that would be an enemy, I'm not sure. Maybe put up a little blurb here. Hope you paused to read it. PETA claims that using labels on the products like Animal Welfare Certified go against the evidence of animal cruelty in the GAP's facilities. The ASPCA refused to take their stamp of approval off of it, claiming PETA has no interest in building a more humane farming system. This angered PETA so much that they brought a truck full of manure to dump on their building's doorstep. They reached their headquarters and raised the dump truck, only to find that the frigid air had frozen the manure to the vehicle, and in a panic, one protester started scraping the frozen manure onto the ground to get a big enough pile. It's kind of funny though, a bunch of frozen turds. The whole process took so long that the police eventually intervened and arrested both the driver and the man trying to shovel the frozen poop. And in the end, only a minuscule amount was only able to be dumped. Wah, wah. But this is nothing compared to the backlash received during some of PETA's biggest controversies. When PETA concocts a gripping headline to shock onlookers, sometimes they resort to straight up misleading people. In 2014, the group released a billboard that read, quote, "Has your child got autism? Learn about the link between autism and dairy products on PETA.org. And I will say the sad face on the got autism thing is just like, oh, dang it, I got autism. According to PETA, this was them earnestly trying to alert the public. Of course, their cited research that claimed that autism is linked to the dairy consumption was outdated and not credible enough to advertise so boldly. People are enraged about this irresponsible ad, which only seemed to further the idea that PETA will use scare tactics if it means bringing people over to the animal side. In another instance of misinformation, PETA started heavily protesting and advertising against the wool industry and the shearing of sheep, calling it inhumane. This stance was based on an undercover investigation that led to the release of graphic videos in which sheep were brutally mistreated and killed for production of wool. PETA claimed that there was no way to provide wool ethically, which caused many farmers and wool producers to lash out, and according to them, they picked the most horrific cases and portrayed them as the norm. Many people in the industry claim that they love their animals and invest lots of time and money to make sure people sharing their wool are gentle, going as so far to quickly fire people who accidentally injure them in the process more than once. And not only that, but it's considered inhumane not to shear the wool off sheep due to it aiding and regulating their body temperature, among other benefits. You ever see a sheep that just got sheared? You see them run around the field afterwards.
Fucking happy as fuck.
Those motherfuckers love that. They're like, thank God. You took too long this time, bitch. One farmer named Nelson claimed that what PETA said was a gross misrepresentation and was disappointed to find out that their actions ended up causing some wool producers to lose out on partnerships with big brands like Patagonia, which I'm sure for some is like, you know, keeps your business afloat, keeps people that work for you, you know, all that kind of stuff. But the craziest controversy PETA had ever gotten into was regarding their animal shelters. PETA has been criticized for years now regarding the enormous number of animals they've euthanized from their shelters they operate. Those motherfuckers love to kill animals. In 2005, the New York Times blasted them for having 80% of their sheltered animals put down when they could have been adopted by families. 80%! The article continues to lambaste them for making nearly $30 million the previous year, believing that this money is being funneled into aggressive spectacle campaigns pushing veganism rather than being used to help the animals that they supposedly care so much about. It's normal for a shelter to euthanize animals. They can only take care of so many, and depending on how old they are, all that kind of shit. It's sad, but it's just the reality of shit. The issue is is that PETA seems to euthanize them at a rate of 3 times higher than the others, doing their best to hide these numbers from the public. In 2011, 713 of their 760 dogs admitted to their shelter were euthanized. 713 out of 760. We have no room. Then why take them? For cats, a staggering 1,198 were put down, and only 5 cats found new homes.
I think part of them were like, it's probably better if they just died.
You don't want to go to the evil people.
Exactly.
Yeah. A place like PETA, you gotta have like a form that you fill out to be like, we trust you with this animal. There's no good human, just die, kitty. Many of them are killed in less than 24 hours from when they arrive. PETA claims that this is just the cruel reality of not having enough homes for the large number of animals that enter their doors. They also claim that their high death rates are because of their willingness to accept animals no matter how poor their condition. This doesn't stack up, especially when other shelters in the same state with the same admission policies are doing a far, far better job. Ingrid Newkirk, the co-founder of PETA, has admitted before that they have put down animals that were perfectly adoptable. Couldn't have been a healthier dog. We put him down. Bye-bye, doggy. Even in 2022, PETA still continues to have shockingly high kill rates. In fact, they have a higher kill rate of euthanasia than all shelters in the entire Commonwealth of Virginia combined. Graphic. We're citing our sources. There you go. Some that are more conspiratorial believe that they are purposely putting down perfectly adoptable pets because they believe it is a necessary evil. Ingrid Newkirk has stated as far back as 1988, saying that, in the end, I think it would be lovely if we stopped the whole notion of pets altogether. So that's what she's saying. That's what you mean. You don't want to be a slave. Just die. It's because of this that people think members of PETA and their shelters would rather prematurely put down animals rather than put them in a potentially non-ideal adoption scenario. To this, people argue that they are elitist and are unfit to be arbiters of who is qualified to take care of an animal. When people think about PETA, there's one story that undoubtedly comes to mind as the most blood-boiling instance in their long, controversial history. In 2014, 2 PETA employees stole a Chihuahua from the porch of the Zarate family's mobile home. The dog, Maya, was a Christmas gift Wilbur Zarate had given to his daughter, Cynthia, in 2011. They were there after reports of a large number of stray dogs roaming the area. They arrived to transport them to their shelter and mistakenly took Maya as well. Maya was put down that same day, disregarding the typical 5-day grace period that is required by law in Virginia. PETA claimed it to be a tragic mistake, firing the employee responsible. The Zarates were also convinced that they did this on purpose due to their previous stance on humans owning pets. Regardless, a trial was held at which PETA offered them $49,000 on top of a $2,000 donation to an anti-animal cruelty organization in Maya's honor. PETA wanted to avoid any extra bad publicity that would come from this becoming a lengthy court battle. Luckily for them, the Zarates accepted the settlement. Listen, it goes without saying that many of the things PETA is fighting for are completely reasonable things. In the pursuit of animal-derived materials, we have subjected animals to nightmarish conditions. You know, it's just, there is a lot of cruelty out there in the service of living creatures. It's a bummer. PETA has done a lot for animal rights, from the reduction of fur coat productions to bringing awareness to the dangers of animal testing. I mean, there is good stuff. But that being said, PETA is certainly not the most squeaky clean organization out there. On their way to spreading their message, they have harassed many people and potentially done tons of harms to various groups they swore to protect. It's the fact that it's like, you're advocating for so many things. I'm like, oh, I agree. But it's weird too when it feels like you care more about getting your name out there and having a profitable charity organization than actually helping the animals. It's just a bit hypocritical, it feels like, right?
I agree.
And also, I think a lot of this stuff is just showboaty. It's people wanting power, people wanting to like point at you until you're doing the wrong thing. It's just kind of cringe. So you know what I gotta say? Be nice to animals, treat them well. You know, if you do hunt or do something like that, eat your animals. You know, nothing cool about just torturing a animal and killing it. You know what I mean? There are some people that do that though. I don't give a fuck.
Chinese. I just saw a video where
okay, that's the end of that. Welcome back to the Papa Meat channel. How you doing? How you doing? Come on and sit down because today we're going to talk about fraternities. As the summer winds down, fall air begins to blow in, high school seniors get excited to start a new year and head off to college. Going to college gives us numerous options for socializing and choosing whom to hang out with, right? One of the most popular routes for male students is joining a frat, or fraternity. These organizations on surface appear modest and draw in wealthy members to fund their events and parties, right? Or hang out, maybe have a couple brews. However, in recent years, numerous disturbing and insane stories have emerged detailing what it's really like to be a part of Greek life. But in order to understand how it got that way, we first need to learn what are fraternities, which buckle in. Fraternities, also known as Greek Brotherhood, are organizations that offer students social and academic opportunities, if you want to say that. There's some that are prestigious. I think the vast majority, at least of my friends that were in frats at state schools and such, usually they're state school organizations where guys can be pals together and they can drink, right? I would say the vast majority of people just use it as an excuse to endlessly party for 4 out of 4 years of their college life, is what I would say.
And sometimes 6 to 8.
Sometimes 6 to 8. Van Wilder! Do you think people even are going to know what Van Wilder is anymore? Was that a deep cut now?
Yeah, feel like it. Ryan Reynolds.
Ryan Reynolds.
Deadpool!
Dating back to 1776, the fucking year this country was founded, these organizations can be found nationwide, with each fraternity having hundreds and hundreds of chapters. To join the Brotherhood, members undergo a lengthy process that begins with what is called rushing. And rushing takes place during Rush Week and is a special time when the fraternities host meetups, cookouts, and gaming nights, and this allows members to meet potential new brothers and explain the rules and values of their fraternity. Do you think the Freemasons are a frat?
The ancient frat.
Following Rush Week, the fraternity will select people they believe will fit into their organization and conduct both formal and informal interviews. And after all that's complete, potential members will be sent a bid that contains an offer to join. That's not all. New members are also expected to pay dues. These payments can range from $2,000 to $1,000 per semester to maintain their membership in the fraternity. This doesn't include other fees such as housing, food, clothing, and various other charges that differ from chapter to chapter, from frat to frat, blah, blah, blah. Some fraternity houses are huge and luxurious with things like private chefs, cleaners, and game rooms, all which add to the cost of being in the frat. These are Nepo baby frats. And despite criticism of paying for friends, I don't do that. All of my employees, I don't pay to have friends. They would hang out with me on their own.
Yeah, that check didn't clear for last weekend.
Some fraternities, such as Sigma and Alpha Epsilon, Sigma Chi, and Lambda Chi Alpha, have over 280,000 members nationwide. And once you accept your bid and pay your fees, you officially join the organization as a pledge. And during this period, you undergo further evaluation to determine if you're a good fit for the Brotherhood, right? You're part of basically a fucking army at that point.
Yeah, a little soldier.
Sigma Chi, yo. Illinois chapter, nice to meet you. Michigan chapter, dude. That's so sick. I go to a state school. I'm a business major. Hey, what do you major in? Business, mostly. Plan on taking over Pop's Chevy dealership when I get out of here, so trying to get, just a little bear trap for that later on. Any man going to a state school, they're a business major.
Or it's psychology. Women, psychology, men, business.
Or philosophy. I've seen some guys do that too.
To be like Jordan Peterson.
And I'm like, where do you work now? They're like, I'll work at a car wash. I work at my dad's car wash. Traditionally, this phase was meant for learning and bonding. And however, over the years, it has developed a bad reputation due to a new ritualistic practice called hazing. Which is primarily why I wanted to make this video, because we cover a lot of weird stuff on this channel, and hazing is one of the most cruel and weird pieces of culture known to man. It's also so oddly accepted. Being a slave and basically being tortured is accepted in a modern day culture. Hazing is a common ritual in which new members are subjected to humiliating activities such as embarrassing stunts or eating gross foods, or Limp Bizkit. It's not just a band name. Why don't you look up what Limp Bizkit is on your own? Play with your friends.
You taught me that.
However, some frats go too far and push their new pledges to the absolute limits. A Sigma Chi frat was suspended after forcing drugs on a new pledge during a hazing ritual. You like being drugged by your pals? By your brothers? Come on, dude. Do you want to be your brother or not? He's like, there are demons and shit hovering over him. He's like, on his back.
Do you think they're doing ayahuasca?
I like to think that they're doing ayahuasca. I also like to think that they're just like, here, I dip this menthol cigarette in bleach, smoke it. Dude.
Won't that make you blind?
I'd do anything for the Brotherhood. Oh, his eyes are just completely like black. Oh! One pledge was forced to stay inside the fraternity for a week as a part of his ritual, and at some point, some other members of the fraternity strapped him down, blindfolded him, and force-fed him cocaine. Dude, that's so sick, and we have to go to the game later. I'm meeting Chelsea at the game and we're getting fucking zooted at the game. Give me some of that Zaza. At the time of this incident, the frat was already under disciplinary suspension for previous drug-related incidents off campus, and members of the fraternity reserved rooms at a resort under the name UCF Finance Club. And during their stay, police responded to multiple reports of fraternity members engaging in loud, rough sex and smoking weed. Dude, I got so fucking high. I'm tanked, bro. After the hazing ritual was reported to the university, the chapter was shut down entirely. But some fraternities get creative with their hazing rituals in order to work around their university's anti-hazing policies. At Zeta Beta Tau, new members had to compete in a strange challenge as part of their hazing, coined the pig roast.
Do you want to guess what that is?
The pig roast. If I had to guess before, pig roast almost makes it seem it's like an Eiffel Tower where they like tie somebody up and butt fuck him and shove their cock in his face too.
Pretty close.
Let's see how close I got. Coined the pig roast, this competition pitted each member against each other with the goal of sleeping with the fattest woman they could find. Fat chicks. Should have saw it coming. Dude, ew, you want a porky pig? That's fucked up, dude. There might literally be nothing I hate. Well, I hate a lot of things on this planet, but one of them, add it to the list, is any man who goes to a state college. I can't stand it.
I went to a state college.
I can't stand you, so it perfectly lines up. Planets are aligned. The challenge began with the frat sending out a group of pledges to local bars and parties to pick up women, aka fucking porkers. The larger they were, the more points that were awarded to the pledge. It was encouraged to sleep with as many women as possible so that you could stack up your points, right? In the event of a tie, whoever slept with the biggest girl won the competition. Members also got additional points for finding ways to humiliate the women after the exchange was over. Hey, Kelly? Yeah? You want to watch Barnyard? Does that count as points? They're like, no. He's like, has sex with the hottest chick. Dude, you're so fat. Am I zooted, guys? Is the huzz sitting right next to me or what?
What do you think they were doing to humiliate them? Just f***ing them and then calling them fat ass or like porky pig?
Probably. I know there's also the walk of shame where as soon as she walks out, everyone's like standing there like, oh my God, ew, you're fat. Maybe that stuff. Maybe that stuff. Or he's just like, hey, remember when I said I wore a condom? You should go kill that fucking thing quick. Dude, 2 points for Bryce. He fucking rules.
I almost got pig roasted in high school. By someone who's overweight.
A big fat girl.
She's like, man, I'm so horny. And then she opened up her glove compartment. She's like, I have all these condoms. And then threw them on top of me. And she's like, and I have a morning after pill just in case. And she wanted to fuck me. And I was like,
You said, sorry, no fat chicks?
Yeah, I just pretended to sleep.
Yeah. As soon as the big girl starts talking to you at the bar, you're like, oh my God, why aren't you looking at me?
Well, then my fear was, well, what happens if she like saw this as an opportunity? She's like, I'm gonna get mine.
Are you saying that she's going to take advantage of you, Nick?
Well, that's what, then I thought, what would
She's too big to fend off. Help! I hope the sleep tactic works.
She was our DD, but she was more drunk than I was.
Dude, college, am I right? Dude, she was our DD, but I thought she was drinking cherry limeades and eating Little Debbie oatmeal cream cakes, but actually, it was just birth control and Budweiser. Her big fat leg comes over and you're just like, oh no. That's also such a guy mentality though too. I guess I gotta do it. No saying no to this. I won't tell anybody though. This fat girl will stay my secret. Also, we should have saved this for the end of this segment. Anyways, once you got done sleeping with someone, pledges were required to come back and describe the event in detail to confirm their points. It was sick. I opened it up and it was like, and it was just smelled like bacon and it was so, she was making pig sounds. Dude, and they're like, dude, Trevor, yes, that is so fucking tight, man. Many female students on campus were disgusted by the behavior. God, wet blankets, right? When Cornell learned about When Cornell learned about the challenge, it launched an investigation and the fraternity was placed on probation for 2 years. In addition to the probation, an in-house advisor was required to be present at the fraternity at all times to ensure that such an incident would not happen again. First off, I just want to say that's a show waiting to happen. Cornsworth, could you just let us f these fat chicks? What if you hurt their feelings? Don't go out without this. Thanks, Cornsworth. No one told me that. Wouldn't that be sick?
Well, I was gonna say, is the guy just standing there at all times?
Hey! Well, yeah, what's he gonna do? That girl is comically large. Ask her to leave, brush your teeth, and go to bed.
Oh yeah, that'd be even more humiliating. You're not partaking in a pig roast, are you?
Yeah, he has his measuring tape. It doesn't even go all the way around. Daniel, tell the young woman good night and have her pig hooves off the wood in this house. He's making fun of you. He's going to finish in you, and he's going to laugh about it later with Steven over there. Steven's like, he's right. Cornsworth, you're such a hawk, man. Actually, I'm not gonna lie, I love that. I would watch that show. Cornsworth, that's my sister. My bad. He's also sly himself. I didn't see her on the visitor log. Cornsworth.
I like that.
I like it.
What would you call it? Cornsworth?
Alpha Beta Cornsworth. In hazing rituals, members try to humiliate new pledges as much as possible, and these rituals can take many forms, physical challenges to public humiliations. At Yale University, the fraternity Delta Kappa Epsilon was banned off the campus for hazing ritual that involved obscene chants. What do you think it was? What kind of chants do you think it was? It was probably fine. One night, students awoke to see a line of blindfolded pledgers walking the campus screaming, "No means yes, yes means anal. No means yes, yes means and my name is Jack. I'm a necrophiliac. I f dead women and fill them with my semen." That one doesn't even rhyme.
They had the Jack and necrophiliac. That was
Jack
cool.
Necrophiliac, come. The frat received immediate backlash from women's groups on campus, and a petition was created to remove the organization from Yale's campus. What a bunch of fucking wet blankets, dude. It's a fucking joke. I would never fucking dead like chick. My girlfriend's very much alive. She's a fucking smoke show. No frat members were charged, but some students filed a complaint against Yale, and the school later agreed to make changes to prevent something like this from happening again.
They got Cornsworth.
That's season like 4 or 5. It's a new frat. Or every 4 years he changes. We're graduating. I just want to say I think I'm a better man because of you, Cornsworth. You boys make me very, very proud. He has one gift for him. It's like just a big busload of fat chicks. Cornsworth! He's like, have your fill. And he's like, you better eat up quick because there's no leftovers later. Cornsworth! He takes like a huge fucking jewel pen. Because they learned something from each other.
Exactly. God, this is a good show.
See, exactly. Cornsworth learned how to let loose a little bit. Yeah. And he calls his daughter. I haven't been home in how many years? Sarah, I want to come home. I can't tell if this is any good. At a college in Ohio, a fraternity was banned for performing such an insane ritual that it left one of the pledges permanently disfigured. Gamma Phi Gamma fraternity was hosting a hazing ritual at their house called the Gobbler House. When the pledges arrived, they were immediately blindfolded and brought down to the basement of the home. And at the bottom of the stairs, pledges were instructed to lie down on the floor, which had been flooded with up to 3 inches of water, and told them to act as if they were swimming. Next, they were told to stand up and strip naked and listen to the president of the frat read off a hazing script. All while this is going on, other members rubbed icy hot on the pledges' nipples, back, butts, and genitals. Following that, the pledges were force-fed sliced American cheese and told to the sheep, which was just a ball of stuffing. When they were done, frat members grabbed towels, tied knots at the end, whipping the ritual members. One member, Tyler Lawrence, was whipped in the balls by a towel and immediately fell to the ground in pain. After the ritual ended, Tyler was still complaining of pain in his groin and was taken to the hospital. He was immediately rushed into surgery because the hit from the towel had caused a testicular contusion and needed to be removed. Following the incident, the chapter was put on disciplinary suspension and was later permanently banned. Which I just want to say this is one thing that we need to say at least once in the video to make sure. Frats are some of the easiest displays of closeted homosexuals.
Oh yeah.
What if we just got them hard and they like, we're fucking this thing in front of us? Come out and just say it already, you know? All right, everybody come here, get hard. Let me put icy hot on your cock.
Isn't that just what boys do though? You just get naked?
That's just what boys do. They get naked and they wall and they put icy hot on their buttholes and their hard cocks. And we women that look like men. We women that remind us of our dads, big fat broads. It's awesome. Is that not the case? All right, your punishment is you have to kiss my balls. Get on your knees. You have to kiss my balls. You have to drink my. Whenever they do it too, they're like looking down, like. Oh, okay, I'll drink your. The guy's like. Yeah, we have to find some bearded girl and have sex with her. Next time we have sex with some fat broad, we have to put Old Spice Fiji deodorant on her and blindfold and have sex with her. Kind of just sounds like you just want to emulate her being a man. No, I'm just saying we'll put like a wig and like a fake beard on her. We'll have sex with her asshole. What? Can't tell if you're uncomfortable.
No, the imaging is... I'm just imagining it.
It's a fantasy of mine. Hazing has resulted in hundreds of deaths, and many of them related to alcohol. One death at Pennsylvania fraternity even led to the creation of a law aimed at preventing future tragedies. In 2017, Timothy Piazza was a sophomore at Penn State, majoring in engineering. Business major. Engineering a business. Excited to be more involved on campus, he rushed with the local Beta Theta Pi chapter. He got a bid offer shortly after. The chapter he joined was infamous for a specific hazing ritual called the Gauntlet. This challenge involved making quick stops at drinking stations, ensuring that every drink was finished to get as drunk as possible. Unfortunately for Timothy, as he was completing the challenge in a drunken state, he lost his footing and tumbled down a flight of basement stairs head first. Fraternity members carried him upstairs to a couch and tried to revive him by pouring liquor on him and slapping in his face. Dude, wake up! Oh, these fucking lightweights, wake up!
Yeah, these fucking pledges, man.
He's like all contorted. He's like wrapped up like a pretzel. Dude, these fucking... The other guy's like, do you put some Zaza on his face? I bet that'll wake him up. You know what I'm saying? It's sick. It's like have a dead body on the fucking floor here. Yo, easy. We want to see those fat. We should have him fuck a fat girl. Yo, bring in the pig. I'm sure that'll wake him up. She'll sniff out a truffle real quick, man. Dude, yes! You're on it tonight, man! Eventually, he would wake up and stumble around, only to fall and hit his head on the ground repeatedly. Dude, look at him! Yo, Bambi. That's his fucking name, too, man. You're gonna fit in, Bambi. You're fucking cool. Oh, there he goes again. Little soldier. Where's your other woodland friends at? Yes! Timothy had suffered a major brain bleed and ruptured spleen from his repeated falls, and sadly, he died from his injuries, because those around him failed to call for help in time. All right, I guess we'll call the cops. Hello? Dude, even the Huzz and the Zaza's not waking him up. This is, like, fucking serious. I'm bummed. I think he's dead. Following his death, 19 members were charged with hazing, involuntary manslaughter, furnishing alcohol to minors, and tampering with evidence. All right, we'll just put him in a closet. Throw him back down the stairs and we'll say that he died then. Put him in his bed. Maybe he died in his sleep. That'll work. Do you see? That's why you're a fucking engineering for business major degree. I can't wait to own a car wash one day.
Whenever I used to drink, I used to fall down from laughing. I'd laugh so much that I think I'd lose oxygen and black out. Kind of like one of those, you know, those goats that they fall down when they get scared. That was me with drinking.
Right. Were you a frat or is that just a drinking story?
Just me
Yeah,
drinking.
it's just cool. Just let people know. Okay. Timothy's death made national headlines around the country as hazing deaths were becoming a more prevalent issue. So, the Timothy Piazza anti-hazing law was passed to make hazing-related deaths a felony offense.
Fuck, dude.
Okay, like, people fucking ruin this country, man. There's probably some fucking fat broad who made that. So stupid, man. I hate this. Alcohol is probably the most common thing found inside fraternities. It's something that is easily accessible to frats and deeply ingrained in the culture. So, let's dive into the world of frat parties. Attending parties is an essential part of the college experience. You gotta fit in, you wanna socialize outside the class, you gotta go to parties. And when going to parties, make sure you choose the right one, or else you could cost you an arm and a leg. Or in the case of 22-year-old Karen Huber, the tip of her finger. That isn't nearly as...
That's not, yeah.
While attending a frat party with her boyfriend at the University of Texas, the president of the frat and her boyfriend got into a fight after Karen's boyfriend was caught pouring beers on other attendees. Dude, party foul. Karen attempted to step between the two men to break up the fight, and as she did, fraternity president punched her in the face, grabbed her hand, and bit off the tip of her pinky finger. Dude!
Party foul.
Time out! You can't go fucking werewolf on Karen! Oh, fuck. Babe, are you okay? She's like, Blood all. Oh, God. After her wounds were treated, the fraternity president was arrested and was facing 10 years in prison with a $5,000 fine. However, the two parties settled for a payment of $440,000 to Karen, and the frat was shut down. People are not the only thing you have to worry about at these parties. College mascots are beloved symbols that represent the school and help boost pride among the student body. However, at UC Santa Cruz, two fraternity members carried out a deadly attack on their school's mascot. In 2003, the MTV show Fraternity Life was filming an episode on the Delta Omega Chi chapter at UC Santa Cruz. During filming, two unnamed fraternity members crept onto the main campus early in the morning and stole the beloved school koi fish, Goldie. The university received the fish as a gift in 1995 and was beloved by all who saw it. So, she went missing. Students were devastated to see their pseudo mascot missing. But the mystery of the missing fish didn't last long, as the two members who stole the fish would eventually confess to their crimes. I think the fish was talking to him. Like something happened. You're like looking at it. It has a soul, dude. We have to give up. According to the confession, they went to the pond with a rake, using it to hit and scoop the fish out. After they had the fish, they took it back to their frat house where MTV was filming a kegger party. They then allegedly threw Goldie on a barbecue grill and ate her.
That's fucked.
Yeah, they're all full and it's like not post-nut clarity. It's like they were like, I was just hungry. I wasn't using my mind. I was fucking hungry, man. Low blood sugar. You know how it is. After hearing the confession, students and staff were outraged by the grotesque death of their beloved fish. And in the end, the two frat brothers were charged $650 to replace the fish they killed. That's it? To be fair, that's like a big deal.
It's your mascot.
If it's your mascot, you know what I mean? Like, I think that's weird. It's like killing a fucking member of the school. I mean, it's not a human, but still. It's like if it was like a goat. We're the fighting rams or whatever the fuck it is, and you kill that. Isn't that not a...
It'd be one thing if they took it and it died, I guess, but they fucking ate it. I feel like...
I mean, they literally just... I bet you they didn't cut it up. I bet while it was alive, they threw it on the grill. For the fish, it was probably a pretty fucking gruesome death, I'd imagine. The parties that fraternities throw often cause issues for college campuses, but sometimes that doesn't satisfy the chaotic nature of certain members. Some members go a little further and pull insane pranks. Fraternity pranks have long walked the line between tradition and trouble. Often framed as harmless fun or brotherly bonding, these stunts can range from silly to sinister, and sometimes they spiral into serious consequences. Devin Nodis was a new pledge for the Pi Kappa Alpha chapter at the University of Southern Mississippi. For his initiation period, he was tasked with a scavenger hunt that took him all over the city of Hattiesburg, including the zoo. And at the zoo, Devin and other pledges were supposed to break into the zoo after hours, take a picture of the Chilean flamingo, and get the hell out of there. But Devin had other plans and wanted to prank his brothers. At 1 a.m., he broke into the zoo and hopped into the flamingo enclosure, stealing one of the birds. He then took it back to the frat, hoping to get some laughs, but instead was scolded and instructed to return the bird immediately. When the zoo reopened, staff counted the flock and noticed that one of the birds was missing, so they began to investigate. A CCTV footage showed a group of pledges, including Devin, inside the zoo, stealing the bird. Which eventually the bird was found around 8:30 a.m. and returned, only to be put down due to its injuries.
Fuck.
Another flamingo also died from presumably attacking Devin during the heist.
So Devin just like kicked this bird.
I think that it was probably attacking him, and then he probably was like, off, and punched it. Devin and his fellow pledges were quickly identified from the CCTV footage and charged with trespassing, grand larceny, and 2 counts of animal cruelty. He pleaded guilty to these charges and was sentenced to complete the regimented inmate disciplinary program. In addition to his sentencing, the fraternity chapter he was pledging for was placed on probation due to his actions. Just want to say real quick, fuck you, Devin, you piece of shit. Yeah, but I'm a business major, majoring in business. I'm gonna start like an animal rescue. I've learned. Full circle for me, Devin. That's called character development for me, Devin. Fraternities were originally founded to represent morals and academics among societals on college campuses. But over the years, the culture has nearly devolved into near complete degeneracy. Dangerous hazing rituals, deadly pranks, and destructive parties are all staples of Greek life and are part of the reason why so many young men decide to join. It's fun! What can I say? It's fun. I've never been, but I mean, you know, I get to get drunk? Woo! If you ever find yourself walking on a campus near the fraternities, just know that outside of the house might look nice, but inside could be filled with unimaginable horrors. Stay safe, everyone, and we'll see you next time. Yo, who wants to haze the Papa Meat House, man? Me! Business majors only. My dad owns a Toyota dealership.
Well, take one of his cars.
Head on over to meetcanyon.store to buy new merch. The "If I beat that yuppies, you gon' tell on me" shirt was added just to our collection, and pre-orders end April 26th. So get yours before time runs out. Welcome back to the Papa Meat channel. How you doing? How you doing? Come on and sit on down because today we're going to be talking about comic conventions, Comic-Cons. There are all sorts of cons around the globe where people meet to celebrate their love of shared interest, but none are as popular or as influential as Comic-Con. The fan convention dates as far back as the 1960s and has evolved into one of the biggest annual events existing today. Throughout the 4-day event, over 100,000 fans continue to celebrate pop culture in all of its forms. But this is just one con of many. In fact, there are all sorts of local conventions that allow people from even the smallest towns to be a part of this experience. However, these conventions are not without their problems. Not only are they becoming more widely popular and densely packed, but the shift to a broader focus on pop culture over just comics has slowly driven many people away. And it goes without saying that putting many obsessive fans and collectors in the same place can lead to some imaginable horrors, all right? So, grab your badges and fresh stick of deodorant as we trudge through the chaos that is Comic-Con. And we wanted to do this video because we just recently went to Kansas City Comic-Con, Planet Comic-Con, and we were selling Margarets. We do have a Margaret toy for people who don't know, and it was a lot of fun. But I will say, does it even feel like Comic-Con anymore? Feels like just a celebrity meet and greet. Also, $120 to meet to what? To take a photo?
To meet Frodo himself.
Well, dude, they did Frodo and fucking Samwise Gamgee, whatever, as one. I think that was like $400 to do a paired photo for like a 60-second interaction. Hey, I love your movie. Hey, thank you. You get ushered across. Is that not the great? Also, I saw Bruce Dickinson at the Kansas City Comic-Con. He's the lead singer of Iron Maiden.
Oh.
Has 5 like platinum albums. What do you charge $150 to sign an album? Isn't that crazy? Jacob, who works here, he went to sign his and he was like, "Oh, hey Bruce, how you doing?" He was like, "Oh." He just signed it and that was it. That was it, right? That was it. Oh, you're a big fan. I'm a big fan. I feel like conventions as a whole, we need to, the only ones I like now are, they keep trimming them to where now they become even more, like the niche conventions are the ones I go to. Like I like toy conventions, like little like underground shit where it's like, I went to a GI, this is very cringe. I went to a G.I. Joe convention one time, not because I like G.I. Joes, but because there was just like small toy vendors there, and you're able to look at all. It was cool. You go to that shit and you're like, what the fuck is this even from? And that guy like floats out of the darkness and he's like, so actually that was like an import from Sweden. They only did like 300 of these, so it's like that kind of thing. And I like that. I'm not even the biggest comic guy, but it does feel weird going to a comic book convention and it's like, that's the back burner. Who cares?
Yeah, who cares about the comics? It's all about the 3D printed dragons.
3D printed dragons, the same art prints and posters, Funko Pops, and did we say 3D dragons? A lot of 3D printed dragons. It's unfucking believable. One of the main appeals of attending a comic convention is the prospect of finding a cool piece of art or merch. Sadly, the Artist Alley is one of the most neglected parts of the con experience, according to both staff and attendees, which I will say, Artist Alley is one of the loneliest, saddest places on earth. I want to look at people's art and walk through there, but I do hate it because it feels like I'm at like a dog shelter. You know what I mean? Where if you like look at one, you catch somebody in the eye, they're like,
and they have puppy dog eyes. And
well, it's like come buy something. I mean, it feels like take me home, yeah. Doesn't it? It feels like that though. And you sit there and I always feel like, and I feel bad because I feel like I have to throw out a comment. Oh, I like the pens. Each year, hundreds of artists and creators pay good money to attend comic conventions to sell their own art and prints from their favorite fandoms. However, what was once a focal point of the convention has now been seemingly pushed to the side. At numerous events, the Artist Alley has been moved far from the main vendor floor with no signs to direct attendees, leaving most Artist Alley a barren wasteland, which is an even bigger kick in the teeth when it's like, yeah, I had to pay $600 to get a table up here. $600! If I flew in, how much money do I have to even break even? You know what I mean? Well, thank God I brought my prints and my sketchbook. It's like unfucking real. And then yeah, they put you in the shadow. The power. It's like a motion activated light in the back of the convention. It's super dark. Everyone's just in there like sitting at their table like this.
At least you could sit and like work on your comic.
Yeah, you could have done that at home. You could have done that at home and just taken a picture. I mean, it's the biggest scam that conventions do, I feel like, is making them they charge so much for a fucking table. Prime real estate.
all the way in the back.
And then you have to pay $80 for Wi-Fi every day.
Yeah, I couldn't fucking believe that. Sometimes their designated spots have poor Wi-Fi, making sales take forever or nearly impossible to complete with like a little square reader. It's fucking obnoxious. And even if you have a successful weekend at your booth, there are still tons of random problems that many artists don't account for. For example, comic publishers from Japan and the US send agents to conventions to shut down any booth selling any unauthorized merchandise. A fucking Midwest comic convention. You. Like an FBI agent or like a Men in Black. Is this your Naruto drawing? Yeah.
Now you don't know how to draw.
This video is sponsored by Incogni. These days it's hard to go anywhere where your data can't be found. With a quick scan of the internet, scammers and data brokers can find your home address and phone number, and criminals can open up lines of credit and file tax returns in your name. And that's why, for my peace of mind, I use Incogni. It's never good when your personal data gets out. Even if they aren't stealing from you, these people can use information to stalk, threaten, and harass you. This is unfortunately something that has come up in my own life, and to protect myself and my family, I need to make sure it doesn't happen again. Which is why Incogni's new custom removal feature is such a relief. If I find a site with my information on it, I can send it in Incogni, and their privacy experts work to get it removed. And it helps me find where my personal information is exposed on search engine sites to help wipe them away too. It can take years to scrub information off the web manually. Let Incogni do the messy work for you. Go to incogni.com/papameat and use code papameat for 60% off. Incogni helps wipe yourself from the internet. They can't harm you if they can't find you. Click the link below to claim your 60% off and get your personal data off the market. Thank you to Incogni for sponsoring this video. Now back to the video.
Some event organizers will set up events near the artist alley that directly distract from their booths. Like when one convention scheduled a 3-hour wrestling event right in front of the artist's booths, drawing away all their potential customers and costing them money. Hey, to be fair, it's kind of sweet.
You think putting an event like that would be like, hey, go to Artist Alley though, right? That's what my thing is. It's like, if there's something in the middle of Artist Alley, people have to go through there and walk through.
I think that they should put it to where you have to walk through to get to the vendors you want to do, so then they can experience and look at the stuff. There's some conventions where they'll put those motherfuckers on a totally different floor.
Yeah.
Like, this is the main floor, and then upstairs something's happening. I don't know what it is. It's that kind of thing. Which, to be fair, there are a lot of people who are like, the artists though who go there and they're like, they feel slighted. It's like, what do you expect? What do you expect by this point? You know? I guess the wrestling match took away all my money. It's like, yeah, dude, the wrestling match is way cooler than the fucking Joker print you have. Sorry. That's the reality of the situation. Many creators are left frustrated by these ongoing difficulties, and some are choosing to pack up and leave conventions early because it's no longer worth their time. It's not just the con making it hard for artists, but the artists themselves. At certain cons, staff are now having to remove booths from Artist Alley because they bring obnoxious lighting and sound setups that annoy nearby artists and attendees. What would they even be? What sounds would they have? Just jungle sounds?
Yeah.
Also, obnoxious lights. You're in a fully lit room. What could I mean, if it was a strobe light,
I think that's what
if I was sitting across from a strobe light and had to look at it all day, I might complain as well. But I mean, what the fuck else do you want it to be?
Can't they just tell them to turn it off? The staff? Oh no, you can't do that.
Maybe. That sounds like what they're maybe doing is telling them to take it down. I don't know.
I thought they were kicking them out and banning them for life.
Maybe it's just that immediate jump. Get out of here and never come back forever until the end of time. This can include massive displays which are deemed dangerous because they are unstable and hang over walkways. What are these? I can't, like, is this like Kanye's like stage setup, you know what I mean? Where it like hovers over the crowd.
Have you seen his new stage? It's a fucking globe. Yeah.
It's insane. It has like random holes that shoots out smoke and stuff.
I think it spins too, because he walks and plays.
It spins?
I think so.
Good fucking lord. Don't put that in Artist Alley, is all I gotta say. On the other side, fans who attend these conventions are starting to dislike Artist Alley because they're all selling them the same prints. And very rarely do people bring original works of art anymore, which is true. A lot of the times, that's another thing with these conventions is it's these vendors who are going from cons to cons, but I feel like they're all getting stuff from the same supplier, so everything looks the exact same.
Or there's just trends, like everybody has a Joker thing.
A Joker, an anime thing, or yeah. Whatever's the hot thing, they all are selling that exact same thing. In the last few years, AI art has also flooded conventions, leading more people to lose interest. And thankfully, Comic-Con has come out in support of artists and banned the sale of AI art and content at their events. That is, however, only going to apply to people who get caught, which also I think a lot of conventions aren't going to give a fuck after a while. I don't know. I can't tell. I don't even know. Couldn't tell you. All right. Go ahead. There still exists many artists who have positive experiences in the alley, being able to meet with other artists and make money doing what they love. Some of you might be wondering why the artist alley has been so forgotten by the event's organizers. Well, a big reason for that is that the slot being sold in the vendor halls bring in so much money in its place. Nowadays, if you attend any con or public event, you are bound to find tables of 3D printed garbage. And listen, I love 3D printed things, but it's the same idea of the vendors. They're all using the same files and printing the same shit to where now, when I see a 3D printed dragon, I have a full-blown panic attack. You know what I mean? I see him strung up and I feel like I'm like a fucking Vietnam vet. I get all claustrophobic. I have to leave. It's anytime. Dude, I've been seeing them at antique malls.
Yeah.
Why the fuck are they there? You have like there's like a fucking Ronald McDonald sign, and all of a sudden there's a full booth of just fucking 3D printed dragons and beetles.
It's probably like the shop owner's like nephew or something. Can't I put my 3D printed stuff in here?
Here's the thing though, is it's never one. It's like, it's so many. To the point where I'm like, how much filament and time went into these fucking dragons, dude? It's unreal. These booths have taken over comic conventions, offering overpriced items like fidget dragon prints, busts of popular characters, and decorative swords, some of which are going for $50 or more. What do you think about the whole sword? Remember we went to like a card collection convention that we did on our Media Magic, and there was like a fucking giant booth.
Oh, there's multiple.
Laid out like a fucking, like a Nigerian arms salesman. I was like, holy fuck. There's Keyblades and Final Fantasy swords. He's like, pick which one you like. Should I get the Keyblade?
You would look mean with the Keyblade.
Keyblade with the Naruto.
It was great. I thought I was on the set of fucking Blood Diamond for a second, looking at all these goddamn swords.
I guess if you're a fan of it, I wouldn't buy a sword.
If I was a kid.
Yeah.
I guess to be fair, if I was like, that was like my big appeal going to the Renaissance Fair when I was a kid. Getting like the wooden swords and the foam swords and that kind of stuff. So I guess I could see it. I was always hyped whenever someone had like an Aragorn sword.
Or like Kratos' blades.
Oh yeah, the Chaos blades or something. Yeah, I would be so stoked. Those are not even the worst things sold on the vendor floor. In recent years, Labubus and other blind boxes have taken over the sales floor, with Pop Mart usually having massive booths at comic conventions. Trendy items like Labubus will likely fade away within 5 years. Funko Pops, however, are a permanent fixture, dominating the vendor floor like a goddamn cancer. Which here's the thing. Never mind.
What?
Man. If you like Funko Pops is one thing, but I wish that there was a thing where they're like, I wish conventions would be like, we have two. There's two vendors that do the Funko Pops. It's everywhere. It's fucking every booth you go by. To the point, and you know what's weird is I'll even do a couple laps throughout the day or do whatever. None of them sell. I want to actually know if there's someone who sells Funko Pops and that watches our videos at a convention, how much honestly are you selling? Because every time I go by, I never see anyone holding. Actually, that's not true. If there's an actor there who is of that, I'm like, and if anything, just bring those Funko Pops. I saw like a fucking Art the Clown one because that dude was there. And it's like, oh, that's the perfect thing if you want to get signed. But then it's just it's the ugliest fucking little creature in a box you've ever seen. I'd rather have like a print or something signed, but I digress.
Could you imagine going up to an actor and they hand you a Funko Pop to sign? Just like,
if someone came to me and they're like, could you sign my Funko Pop of you? I make jokes about me shooting myself all the time, but you know what I would do. As soon as you walk through the venue doors, your eyes will be met with Funko Pops stacked to the ceiling at countless booths. I mean, it's like a fucking wall of Funkos. What's even crazier is that they are resellers and not even like official booths. It's just people upselling you Funko Pops. Blatantly to your face. Oh yeah, I'm gonna charge 5% extra. I've had people say that to me. Well, I gotta charge 5% extra because to keep making the booth fee. No one's making you be here. You're putting that on me, the customer? Okay. It would be understandable to have 2 or 3 booths, but the plastic figurines cover the entire floor and can even be found at booths unrelated to Funko Pops, even like comic booths or anything. Still, tons of Funkos. Funko, once again, has ruined my day. Some vendors resell their exclusive Funkos, which can show price tags up to $40,000 for a single Funko. And we've covered the insanity of Funko Pops before. However, if someone is going to pay for an item that expensive, you'd think it'd be a genuine movie prop or like a rare comic at one of these conventions instead of just a rare Funko. And if they're that popular, why is there not just, this is just the Funko convention? I'm saying a touring thing that's as regular as Comic-Con. See, just push those out. That way, if you see it at one of the other conventions, you have every right to stone them. We go into archaic rules and laws from days of old in the Bible, and we stone these people.
You think Funkos will eventually... I mean, they're dying, but do you think they'll die completely?
I don't think so. It has too many movie IPs to where, if anything, there'll probably be a thing that happens that usually happens with the youth is like, ironically, it'll come back. Like the way that like some fashion from the early 2000s is coming back. Like I feel like Funkos are going to come back in a weird way. Like the same way that people like nowadays are like, oh, I love Beanie Babies. It's like, who the fuck? Like, really? You want to collect Beanie Babies now?
You weren't even born.
I think it's going to have that effect. The sad reality is that many convention goers will buy multiple Funkos from multiple vendors, which only encourages more resellers to show up and block out potentially unique or cool booths. Which also, I have to, I very rarely see people buy the Funkos. And if it is that profitable, I just feel like you would just see way more of them.
You think people are ashamed of carrying their Funkos around?
That's a very good point. I do. I think that there's a stigma now that I think, because you know, whenever you're like walking to a convention, you're like walking by and someone's like walking by and they do like,
yeah, and
you're like, it's because of the Funko.
I'll put it in my bag.
Exactly. Now I have a big black bag I put all my Funkos in. Look like fucking Krampus leaving the Comic-Con.
I was gonna say, like, Funkos are mass produced, so I mean, granted, there's rarer ones, but like, buy them online. Like, why are you going to a convention and like being like, oh, I don't have that Funko.
I mean, I get it. Probably is a thing where it's like maybe they're not available online. I'm just playing devil's advocate of like maybe it's also just the thrill of the hunt.
Okay, that's fair.
Right?
That's fair. People like going.
Yeah,
out and buying
I mean, there's
stuff.
things where it's like I could get online, but it's the idea of being like I come across it one day somehow feels more special in some weird chimp-like thought pattern that I have in my head. I don't know. While the San Diego Comic-Con and other large conventions have their own problems and controversies, there are a bunch of smaller local cons that are just as bad, if not worse. The biggest problem that many small comic conventions face is not having the money or the staff to put on a proper event. Superfan Comic-Con was a local comic convention held in Toronto, Canada. In 2014, that was a complete and total disaster. Organizers of the event estimated that there would be over 15,000 attendees, which drew many vendors and celebrities. However, on the day of the event, only 2,000 people showed up, causing many of the main attractions to pack up and leave due to low sales and feeling misled. Which, considering how expensive it is to lock down booth space, this is especially bad for those trying to actually make a living doing like the circuit and stuff, right? Also, people like a Toronto thing, I wonder how many people actually flew.
Oh, yeah.
Flew out of country to go there.
I would say most of them.
Also, 2,000 people is so small. Like in the grand, like I'm trying to picture how big the space is. Like the one in Kansas City, it's like in a huge convention space. I'm wondering if it's like just how empty and quiet was that convention.
Very awkward, yeah.
Yeah. Also, packing up early would kill me.
I would just stay for the whole thing.
Fuck it, I'm already here. I'll just leave my booth unattended and go like hang out in Toronto or something like that. A year later, at the Fanfare Comic Convention, numerous celebrity guests canceled their appearance because the organizers didn't have enough money to pay them to show up. And this has been a growing problem in the industry where even C-list celebrities were asking for like a shit ton of money and personal services to appear at conventions, making it harder for small cons to get good guests. Which also, here's the thing, fuck the celebrities. What's insane and totally criminal to me is that like, let's say like a Matthew Lillard, whatever. That motherfucker's probably getting like 50 to 80 grand to show up for a weekend, right? And then he's having you pay 100 to 150 bucks to what? To sign a picture? To take a selfie with them?
Is that the con making him do it though?
I think it's just him. I think they're saying that by you coming here, they might take a small cut, but I doubt it. I bet you they're paying him and they're like, you can come here and then you can charge people to do that because we know that we're gonna put your face on a billboard and then it's gonna drive a shit ton of ticket sales is what I think it's gonna be. Yeah, it's just a way for them to drive ticket sales. That's all it is. I mean, hey, make that bread, I guess. And if people are willing to like pay for it, who am I to say? I don't know. Despite not having the same resources, smaller cons still have tons of cosplayers and interesting characters who can ruin other people's experiences. While at a small con, a man in cosplay was waiting for his wife to return from getting an autograph when a morbidly obese, acne-ridden couple approached him and started taking pictures. The woman who had a horrid stench yelled, "I want all that!" and took a picture of his ass before walking away. Did we have to dig into their looks that hard?
You have to paint a picture.
Also, at a certain point, which this is obviously, I'm not saying that overtly sexual, but if you're into cosplay, like obviously going to someone and being like, oh, I want all that, it's a bit much. But I mean, are you not opening up people to just like take a picture of you?
Yeah, I feel like if you're at a convention, as long as it's a normal picture.
No, don't get me wrong. There are etiquettes to it. I've seen people go up and they're like, do you mind if I snap a photo? Which is extremely polite. But I've also seen people like walk by and they'll like wait till they're behind someone and then like take photos of them. Not necessarily sexually of like their ass or anything, but I just mean like that they didn't want to have the
interaction.
The interaction. Which it's like just so much creepier. And it's so obvious too, especially whenever the old guys like hold the camera like this. Adjust their glasses. Oh, what's also with when old people take pictures? They always have to look at it and then suspiciously look around. Have you noticed that? Every time I saw this at Comic-Con, anytime someone, they'd be like, it makes it seem like they just took a picture of something they shouldn't have.
Yeah. Making sure they didn't get caught taking the picture.
This guy just took a picture of me standing there. I looked at him. I said, "Oh, what's up, man?" And he didn't say anything. He just
walked away.
Can't say hi to me? Fuck's sakes. One of the biggest attractions at any comic convention, big or small, is the celebrity panel, where guests can meet and interact with their favorite movie stars or comic artists. If you thought you could just walk through the doors when the panel starts, be prepared for a disappointing weekend. Regardless of the size, lines for these talks usually take hours, or even a full day to stand through to talk to one of these motherfuckers. In advance, with many fans pitching tents and sleeping overnight to hold their spot, to talk to like a guy from Supernatural. One of the actors from Supernatural. Oh, God, I hope I meet him. I love your show. Thanks. Oh, whoa, that was amazing.
I mean, they cut people off, right?
Oh, yeah.
They realize like, oh wait.
I think there's a literal count. Like I think that that's another thing that the cons will do is be like, on these specific days, how many people are you willing to sit through? And the actors will be like, I don't know, how many are willing to pay? And after a while, though, I think that they do cut it off because they don't want to block shit. But I don't know. Because this is so common, most venues have specific practices to help prevent lines from getting out of hand. Line capping is when staff temporarily stop people from getting in line. Otherwise, they would wrap around the entire con venue and sometimes even out the door. And most venues also have security guards and staff walking up and down the line to prevent people from cutting or to stop fights. What remains is a cramped graveyard of nerds sleeping in the cold so they can be the first to receive their next hit of Marvel slop dopamines. Jesus, dude. Motherfuckers are getting personal in this document. Holy shit. People camping out just to, like, you know, be able to interact with somebody that, I mean, at this point, though, you'd have to assume that these people are like, I love this actor. You know, it's weird, though, is, I mean, a lot of people I hear they wait in these lines for hours, and they're like, yeah, I mean, I like that one movie they're in. It's like they're not even that big of a fan.
Oh, that's
it's so weird. There's some people where they're, like, shaking and they'll cry. Like, and I'm like, hey, obviously this means something to you that we don't understand, but to just be so casual, like, oh, there's nothing else better to do.
Well, there's some people who are like, oh, I don't know him, but he looks popular, so I gotta meet him.
Yeah.
There's like people like that mentality of FOMO. Like, if I don't do this, I'm missing out on something.
Yeah, I'm gonna regret it.
Guy said that to me at the convention.
What?
Well, he like went up and he's looking at the line that you had, and he's just like, who is this guy? Is he popular? I was like, oh yeah, we're kind of popular. We have a YouTube channel. Anyways, was talking to him. He's just like, I don't know you guys, but I feel like I gotta buy something from you. I feel like I'm missing out.
I've had people say it to me, and I'm like, you absolutely don't have to do that. If anything, it'd make me more comfortable if you just didn't do that. I feel like you're just popular, I gotta buy something. I'm like, that's like the opposite. You should go to somebody who's not doing super great and help them out. You know what I mean? I'm still like a toy, like an oven toy. Here, take it. Take the wallet. There's no amount of time that's too much for passionate fans. Some are so dedicated, they'll go to great lengths to meet their favorite celebrity. The line to see Jason Momoa at the Basingstoke Comic-Con was a total disaster, as the event organizers overbooked the panel, leaving people waiting over 12 hours to get inside. To make matters worse, Jason left after one day despite being scheduled for the whole weekend, and numerous staff members were physically attacked by guests in line after being forced to hold their place in the sweltering heat. While those who stood in line were justified in being angry, the actual temperature was only about 77 degrees. And the report of the disaster claimed it was akin to Firefest, which blew it way out of proportion.
A bunch of nerds complaining.
Oh. Jason Momoa, I'm getting sunburned. 12 hours for Jason Momoa? Is that worth it?
No.
Besides like Khal Drogo and Aquaman, has he been in anything else? Minecraft, actually. Never mind. Minecraft. Minecraft. Conventions can often be a flood to the senses. It's not just loud sounds you have to worry about, however, because the stench is even more powerful. Like other events, comic conventions are no strangers to the smell of body odor and feces. Sweating at a con is normal. You're walking around all day, sometimes in layers of cosplay attire that can cause you to otherwise overheat, right? Or even just the amount of body heat in there, you're walking around and it is what it is. People are gonna sweat. However, it's hard to deny that some attendees are simply unhygienic, no matter how many people want to blame it on the venue's bad airflow. God damn, fucking turn on the AC. It's like other people have sweatshirts on. Jesus. For years now, people have complained to the event organizers about the smell and even bring signs chastising smelly attendees that read, and I quote, "If you could afford the entry ticket, you can afford a stick of deodorant." Maybe that's just what people need sometimes, is a nice kick in the ass. At Comic-Con, however, you'll sometimes see things that make you question whether or not the attendees are even human. What? God damn. Well, at the New York Comic-Con, numerous guests reported seeing and smelling smears of human poop right in the middle of the show floor. How? Who did this? I've seen some people do some sneaky shits, though, in public.
Oh, yeah.
Quickly pull out their pants, and they walk off, and people like step in it and stuff.
Or they do the waddle and they kick it out of their pant leg.
Kick it out of their pants. The waddle and kick, you can get prison time for doing that shit, right?
Can you?
I would assume. For shitting on the floor? I mean, like, that's got to be some type of act of bioterrorism, you would assume, right?
I've seen this one where this lady, she couldn't hold her diarrhea, so she like pulled her pants down and like shit in like the refrigerated like produce area.
People are so fucking vile. It's unbelievable, man. Not only did someone walk through it, but the staff believed that the person who did this dropped it while walking around the con as if it was smooth and subtle. Well, they don't know who it was, so it probably was pretty fucking smooth and subtle. Event staff would block off area as janitors made their way through the crowd. They had to actively tell people to stop taking photos. Despite the sneaky attendees and crazy fans, comic conventions remain among the most popular kinds of conventions in the United States. Even though I will say, I don't know if it's just because I'm getting older, it feels like it's getting worse every year. Like, I have a feeling like after a while, it's going to completely revert to meet a celebrity. The title of Comic Con is, I feel like that has to go away soon, and it's going to just be Celebrity Con or something. It really is nothing more than a fun place where people get to gather and share their nerdy interests, meet others in their fan communities, and go home with some cool shit. If you can attend a Comic Con near you, have fun, but be mindful and avoid bothering people. And for the love of God, bring deodorant. And also, dude, don't pay for the celebrity line. In my opinion.
I think I say don't shit your pants.
Oh yeah, that should go without saying. I guess what I'm saying is this video just made me, it has made me an advocate for being like, I mean, who am I to say? I just like, it's never worth it. They're never going to say anything. You're going to walk up and it's like it's cool meeting people that you're like, I'm a huge fan of you. But at the end of the day, it's the conversation's 60 seconds, if that, and then you get to go off and do whatever. I don't know. I just don't think it's worth it. If anything, I would say try to go to some place where like, look at the actual people who are like selling real art and try to pick up that. At least for me personally, that's where I have the most.
Yeah, support artists.
It's fucking cool. That's also why I like local zine cons and all that kind of like, I don't know, that's like some hipster artsy shit. There's a lot of dog shit stuff there too. But let me tell you, it's cool seeing local people in your community, especially if you're in like a flyover Midwest state or something. There's a lot of fucking cool artists in your area that might be making some shit where you're like, oh, this is sick. Especially if you are a fan of comics. There's like a lot of local comic people that you should check out their stuff. It's cool. You know what I mean? So that's all I have. Don't go to Comic-Con. Is that bad? I will say, can I at least say this? At our Comic-Con, thank you to everyone who did come out. Everyone was super nice. I couldn't believe the amount of people that just kind of showed up. We kind of sprung it out of nowhere, so it was a bit of a surprise, but people got to go and see Margaret and stuff. That was a lot of fun, and everybody was super fucking cool. So many nice people. So.
And the staff tried to shut you down.
The staff did try shutting us down and made it really awkward, but I think they were just doing their jobs too. You can't blame them. It is what it is. So. See you in the next one. Bye!